Oh man, what is up, my family? How is everybody doing today? Throw some A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak. Throw some A's in the chat, my family. How is everybody doing tonight? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. I want to know that you guys are making some gains. I want to know that you guys are doing good. Throw those A's in the chat. What is up, moderators? Mark Roach, DJ. I'm not sure if I actually saw Samantha a little bit earlier, but if you are here, hello, Samantha. Oh, there you are. There you are. I see you now. I see you now. AMC Ape, what are you talking about, man? 3 days? You mean 4 days ago? The video that I released saying that there was going to be a pullback? No. I definitely did not go long there. I went long on COSM before that, though. I think maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Maybe you should check the dates on that. But no, I have not been long COSM, and in fact, I believe I got stopped out the last time. But yeah, no, definitely not, man. And actually, in regards to your question, I actually went through the entire video just to make sure I didn't say that, and I didn't. But yeah, just to, I just want to make sure that we're all good with that aspect. When I am long on a ticker, I will absolutely make it public, because that's the way to do it, man. Transparency. That's just the way to do it. Oh, look at those A's in the chat. What is up? What is up, everybody? Let me just go ahead and say hello to everyone. Sebastian Lim, thanks for that donation, my dude. I really appreciate you. You need to look at that ticker, WE and Wolf. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I will go ahead and put that on there as well. I still have a couple tickers that we need to take a look at from the last time, so we'll make sure to take a look at those as well, you guys. But who is in the chat? Let's see. Chris W, what's up, man? Mike, what is up? So we have Mika Pavola, what's up? What's up? All right, Nia, how you doing? Johnny Barnes, good to see you again. What? Good to see you. Good to see you. So Chris W, Audrey, what's up? What's up with you? JM, man, Beso, Amy, what is up with you? Yeah, Amy, you're talking about I saw the ticker earlier. Which one did you say? And regarding Biana, I will take a look at that ticker for you too. Okay, that was KPRX. You said, yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at that ticker. It is no big deal. We'll check it out for you. Everything good in the hood. Fatal One, what is up, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. Really happy to see you here. And look at B coming in the chat. And look at the first tick. Look at this right here. B, I did all this stuff for you, my dude. So just in case you were to stop by tonight, I have Amazon up in the list to check out with you, my dude. So everything is still good. I hope that you didn't go long, right? And just cause like a huge loss. I was actually trying to tell you that. No, man, no, don't go long just yet, man. We're about to experience some weird stuff with the Fed, and man, but I'm really happy you're here. So I'm really happy you're here. So everything is good. So Mika, I definitely can put that on the list for you too. Okay. So I'm not sure that I'll be able to get to it, but we'll definitely take a look at it. Okay. So CELZ is that Micah or Mika? My apologies. Everybody knows I be butchering names up in here, man. So don't take it personally, okay, you guys. And yeah. I see a couple thoughts coming in regarding the AMC ticker, right? So we'll go ahead and go over the AMC ticker. I did release a video on it earlier, you guys. So please make sure to watch that video. I released it it was at market close today. So. But if you guys need me to kind of refresh what I said in that video, I definitely will. It is not a problem whatsoever. KYP, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat, you guys. Everything is very good here. Everything is feeling good except for the Fed, right? They actually came out with that really weird news saying that they're definitely going to maintain that hawkish outlook. Like, oh man, that's it's going to drag things down a little bit, right? So what we're hoping for is actually for a good CPI read. So if we're able to get a good CPI read coming in on the 14th of February, please remember the 14th of February, mark it on your calendars, because that is going to be a very important date. And I actually have to express a lot of warning regarding that. Just just definitely know that it's kind of a gamble to to go long on these tickers right now, because it's a little bit of a turbulent time. We don't know if we're gonna face a good read on the CPI, right? But man, if you're not an experienced trader, I would absolutely stay away from the markets. Keep your dry powder to the side for a better opportunity. Usually those better opportunities tend to show up after the CPI read. Okay, you guys, so make sure to mark it in your calendars. That is the 14th of February, where we're gonna get that CPI read. Okay, so if that CPI comes in with a beat, then that would essentially mean that we're gonna be on for another ride to the upside, which, by the way, data is kind of suggesting that. But I mean, if you guys remember correctly, I have mentioned several times that even economists or analysts, they try to kind of guess what the Fed is gonna say or what the Fed is gonna do, and they're wrong every single time. Okay, you guys, so that's Valentine's Day Massacre. Audrey, what is up with you? Thank you so much for that donation. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. X-Ray Dub, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Yeah, man, yeah, that's gonna be a weird Valentine's Day if we do get that CPI miss. But I mean, oh, also, I don't know if anybody has any thoughts regarding the jobs report that came out. So I've been hearing that it was I don't know if that was like a rigged number or if it was a truth. What is going down, chat? Go ahead and chime in. Let me know what your thoughts are regarding the jobs report that came in. I'm not sure if that was actually something that was allegedly, fixed. I'm not sure if that was the case, right, you guys? But I just want to know if anybody has any thoughts regarding that. But please go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't done so. Thank you so much, KYP, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'll be uploading videos every single day, you guys. So that's just is just part of the deal here. Then that's how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna be going over a list of tickers that we're gonna be looking at today, and just to make sure we can refresh AMC, we'll go ahead and start it off with AMC first. Okay, you guys. But I just want to let you know that I already did review that ticker. So I reviewed AMC earlier today. I released it at about 2 or 3 maybe 4 p.m. I think, something like that. But definitely check that out. But either way, I'll still give you my thoughts here live. No problem whatsoever. Okay, you guys. So Mark Roach, what you saying, man? Another lie, just like another CPI lie. Wow, dude. That's what I'm hearing, man. So I mean, if it is, I don't know if, man, I hope they don't lie about the CPI, bro, because that's gonna stop the progress on a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Mullen and AMC, GME, those are really dependent on broader market cycle. So if we get like a CPI miss, you're definitely gonna see the entire broader markets bull trap, right? And it'll essentially capitulate. Let me go ahead and just mute that laptop there, making all kinds of noise. But yeah, I was wondering to see if anybody here actually had any speculation regarding that jobs report. But it's all good. You know, we have to make sure to prepare. We have to make sure to prepare for the markets and prepare for what may be coming in its future, right? So it's not our jobs. It's not our jobs to predict it. It's just the jobs to prepare for it. Okay, you guys. Actually, Ricky Gutierrez tends to say that very often, and I agree entirely with the man himself. And but yeah, you guys. So chat, let me know who's long on what tickers. What is actually trending right now? What is happening? Cha-Cha, how are you doing, my brother? Well, I'm doing good. Honestly, I am staying. I'm staying cash as much as I can. So I actually closed my short position on Pfizer just a few days ago when it actually dipped all the way down to the bottom. So it was a 5% gain. It was nothing big, right? But it was still a gain. And but from there, I'm staying cash. I don't want to enter anything right now because it's a little I'm telling you, man, it is just, you know, kind of trading in these times. Just make sure that you are available and in front of your screens and know your points of support, your points of resistance, right? And trade the ranges. But if you're not in front of your screens, don't go long like it and just expect things to kind of move to the upside, because it's essentially a gamble right now. Okay, you guys, it's super turbulent and we're waiting for that CPI read to come in. Okay, so if we do get a miss on that, that would be your stop losses getting hit if you decided to put a stop loss, which I do not recommend. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor, so please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, you guys, I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Do your own due diligence and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys, I'm here to help. I'm here to try my best to be able to provide whatever information I've gathered through my time of trading, right, and expressing it to you guys in hopes that we can all, or that retail can be a little more educated and also less impulsive like we were in a bull cycle, right? We don't want to trade the bear market like we do on a bull cycle. Okay, you guys, that is not something that we want to take a look at or do, right? So I want to take a look at a few tickers here. So we have AMC on the list, we have Amazon, we have a ticker symbol WE and WULF, and CELZ is also in there. But I want to make sure that I cover the early requests. This is something that you should know. If you guys are familiar with the Discord, or if you're a member already, make sure to join that the Arca Bulls trading community, because there you'll be able to access the early requests for the ticker picker. Okay, you guys, so I want to make sure that we can cover some of those tickers, because I know, for example, Biana, she asked me for a KPRX. We're gonna be looking at that one too. So we have Humble Inc. as well. I'm not sure what ticker that is, but I think somebody in the ticker picker also asked for that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start off with AMC, right? We're gonna do Amazon, we're gonna do Humble, then we're gonna do KPRX. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and add as many as I can to the list, especially the one that I actually owed was ticker symbol AI. I know a lot of people were talking about that too, and yeah, no problem. I'll go ahead and try to add the NVOS ticker in there as well. Okay, you guys. So, but what's the deal with NVOS, man? Are you long that? Are you shorting it, or what's the deal? NVOS, speak to me. Tell me the truth over here. So it's okay, cool. Nova Integrated Sciences. I've actually heard a few things about this ticker, and I think it was actually kind of popping off a few weeks ago. No, I'm not sure if it was actually something that was of a, I don't know. I don't want to call it meme, right? But it's just some moves happened. Oh, this. Wow. Okay. So it definitely capitulated. That's insane, man. Are you already long this? Are you asking to see if it's gonna continue going down? I mean, that's this price action here is a little. It looks kind of like a bear flag, right? So we got to be careful with things like that. All right, you guys. If I have any advice into trying to understand where your ticker of choice can go, definitely, I mean, pull up your averages. Okay, so these are the averages that I use. If you wanna take a snapshot of this or a screenshot, I use the SMA 10, right, the 50-day, the 100, and the 200. And aside from these, I use also the EMA 7 and 30 period. EMA is the exponential moving averages. If you want to take some note of those averages that I use, okay? So now, for a larger time frame, like the daily and up, I tend to keep an eye on the 21 exponential and the 55 exponential. Now, regarding the 55 and the 200, if you want to combine something very powerful, which is actually something that Bitcoin is doing, and I'm not sure if it's actually going to do it, but when the 55 EMA crosses the 200 SMA, that's called a silver cross. So that silver cross, when it happens, historically, price action has moved to the upside. And it hasn't happened for, I think, over a year or something like that. So we all know that assets like that, like huge valuated assets like that, can actually make can pressure the markets to the upside overall, right? So, Justin, I don't have it on the list, but I can go ahead and try to add it, my dude. because I know the last time we covered it, right, and I know there was a lot of people kind of nervous about that ticker. But are you still long it? Are you still good? Weston, Weston, is that you in Twitter? I'm not sure if that was you that I caught, right? It's a picture of you. I think you have a little bit of long hair, maybe. I think you're wearing a black shirt in the picture or something like that. And I noticed that you asked me for CLNV like what a few days ago. I'm sorry. I sometimes I don't remember these things, guys, because I'm getting just an absurd amount of comments and messages all the time. And I tend to forget. What's being said, and amongst all the rubble, right? So just go ahead and bear with me if I don't remember your things. But definitely don't be afraid to just kind of say out loud whatever you need, right? So please, just know that I'm not trying to ignore anybody, okay? It's just for real. It's just it gets a little insane. In fact, I've gained like 400 subscribers in YouTube over the last like 3 days. So it's Mark Roach saying long hair, black shirt, Arca has photographic memory. Long hair, black shirt, how many? Oh, it is. Look, you see, Mark Roach, what's up? Weston Harris said, yes, it is. Oh man. Man, I'm not gonna, Weston, I actually have an entirely full schedule, but I'm gonna talk about it real quick before we actually start the analysis. CLNV is still showing that, I went over it today actually before I started filming videos. Just like I said yesterday, we were going to trade within the range. We're just printing these spinning top doji iterations because there is something just pensive about this asset. The only thing that I would have to warn about is that momentum is pivoted towards the downside, right? So we have to watch out with things like that. And also the fact that the faster exponential moving average is still pivoted towards the upside, that's pretty good. That's not bad. All right, so there is the chance to where we can actually correct. We're about to enter critical volatility here. So remember this. The last 3-day iteration printed was a huge 3-day hammer candle, and that's a good thing when we're on a downtrend, right? So this usually presents the possibilities of a reversal. Okay, so and now this candle iteration that's going to end in about 16 hours. This would essentially be the one. This would be the one to kind of validate the upside incoming, but we don't want to print it as a spinning top doji like this because that's it's just an indecision candle, and it would be very much in line, or it correlates with what the overall sentiment is feeling, regarding the CPI read and all that stuff. So you're gonna see a lot of sideways trading for CLNV, slightly bearish, slightly bullish, but it's just up and down on the range. And that's honestly why I didn't release the video. It's because of, I mean, look at this. It's because of this, like we've been in this like teeth grinding consolidation, and my goodness. So I just want to let you guys know that this is still gonna trade sideways, okay? Another one that I checked out was actually CEOS, and CEOS, I mean, honestly, I love that it made that recovery, right? So, and I didn't record the video again, you guys, because I wanted to make sure to take care of, like, for example, that intro that you guys saw. I'm trying to do a bunch of housekeeping and a bunch of new innovations for the Arca Bulls family, right? So just put a professional stance on this, right? So CEOS is a little dangerous right now, and the reason why I can say this is because volatility is starting to contract. Okay, look at this. Volatility here starting to contract. Momentum is actually favoring the downside. We need to be very careful when both of these are combined. Okay, so if you are familiar, or if you are an ARC-Series Crypstex indicator holder, then you can go ahead and check out. You don't have to do it manually like I do. We've already condensed that into one indicator, okay, you guys? So this is that curvature that we're looking at right here. This is a little bit of weakness showing, which is very much in line with the momentum in a stochastics perspective, right? So this is the average that MACD tends to show us for a momentum, and the volatility would be represented by this red cloud, okay? I actually got a question regarding regarding how to place this indicator onto the chart. You don't actually have to do the crazy steps. You can actually just grab it like this and drag it onto the chart and it'll show up, right? So now it's going to show up as a new pane back here so you can adjust the size of it. All right, and then from here, just grab your, grab it with the hand and then just move it up and down. Okay, you guys, but that's how you would do that. And yeah, but CEOS, I need you to be very careful with this, okay? Because I am looking at some weakness coming in, and if we're looking at a continuation to the downside, I mean, we're just gonna end it real quick here, right? So let me just take a look at these time frames, and let's see what it's got for us. Okay, so downside in almost every time frame before a recovery on the daily. Let's see the 12-hour. The 12-hour is still showing a little bit of upside. Okay, so both the 12-hour upside and the daily. Okay, so and it's limited. Oof. Okay, so this is essentially what it's telling me. I'll give you the range real quick. If you guys are long CEOS, I need you to kind of reconsider. Maybe removing some risk would be ideal. Okay, so let me go down to the 4-hour and see what we can do about a target to the downside, right? So let me just go ahead and draw fib inversely, right? So we're going to take it from the swing low to the swing high, or wick low to the wing high, to the wick high, sorry, of the last 4-hour iteration. Okay, so very, very, very interesting that we still have that 1.618 at our support here. Okay, so I would say 6440, meaning 0640 or 0644, sorry. That would be your first stop. But notice real quick on your momentum that you're looking at, let's see, up to the 8-hour that you're going to be facing some downside. So a whole day of reaccumulation is possible before a recovery by the end of day or the following day. Okay, so I would look out for two targets here: 0555, right? So 5 cents, and 0644. So between this area is essentially where we can reload and continue on to the upside. I don't want to say upside. Upside is for the fact that both the 3-day and the 5-day are suggesting a little bit of consolidation. It is bullish, but it's not all the way. Okay, so this is why I'm saying maybe consider taking your risk off of it, right? So just be careful with this ticker is what I'm saying. All right, you guys, but yeah, actually, you know what? Why don't I actually just start expressing my thoughts about AMC real quick, right? So we can just go ahead and start that now. So what time is it? 9:23 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and take the timestamps, right? So we can add them into the description for the people who can't see it tonight. So it'll be easily accessible for you guys. So rest assured that it'll be there just a few hours after I finish this thing. So Mark Roach, thank you so much. 9:23 p.m. and AMC. Okay, so the video that I recorded today was in reference to a few things. First of all, always volatility versus momentum. What we're looking at here is momentum now pivoting towards the downside, but I want you to know that upon making a statistical move to the upside, similar to the one that we actually faced right here, right? So this was on June 23rd, 2022, when we started moving to the upside like crazy. So let me just go ahead and make the price action a little bit more visible, just like this, right? It's similar to what was happening then. So we got that go ahead, right? We started pivoting. We started pivoting the volatility towards the upside, and momentum was pivoted toward the upside as well. So the signal fired. We made a 15% move to the upside. All good. Then at that point, we actually invalidated and we came back into volatility, thus resetting again. So this section where I'm saying that we reset the conditions for the statistical upside, please notice that it's right where we are right now. Okay, so these are things that not a lot of people look at. Okay, so I'm talking for real detail here. Okay, so what I'm saying is that it is very much contingent upon the CPI data release, but what I am saying is that this is a reaccumulation event before a continuation onto the upside if we're speaking data. Okay, but I don't know what the CPI is going to be, and no one knows. Okay, so as soon as we know that, then the upside would be essentially invalidated or validated. Okay, so at this point, we're still looking good. This pullback is absolutely normal per the trading. I'm saying just per traditional trading rules. This is absolutely following market geometry. It's following all that stuff. It's doing good. Okay, so what I want you guys to know is just that there is going to be some further downside, but the downside is not capitulation. It's not by any means showing us that we're reversing. In fact, this is just showing us that we're pulling back. Okay, you guys, and in reference to the gap that we were talking about yesterday for AMC, please remember that this gap was something that we were already looking at when we were over here. And another thing that told us that we were going to come to the downside was for the fact that we printed this bearish engulfing candle formation. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with a bearish engulfing, it's literally this: when we have a red candle body, a large body engulfing the previous green body. Okay, so that is usually what happens when we get a downside. Oh, I'm sorry, we get a downside after this bearish formation. Okay, you guys, another indication was actually this shooting star candle right over here as well. So we were already noticing a little bit of weakness, right? So we definitely came back down and closed that up. And now it's that reaccumulation. What I want you guys to know, sorry, is this. Okay, this is very simple, a very rudimentary way to look at the markets, but we are making a series of higher highs and we're making a series of higher lows as well. Okay, so if we were to continue to the downside, there are a few targets that we can kind of eyeball, but the thing is that, again, we don't know what's going to happen with the Fed. Okay, so in essence, what I'm telling you is that the downside could continue to even potentially about 562. Maybe before a continuation to the upside. It's following the natural ebb and flow of a market cycle. Okay, you guys. So I just want you to know to be very careful with your longs. If you have a new open position. Okay, so if there is the opportunity for me to get long this stock to hedge against the long terms that I have, yeah, then I'll go ahead and do that. It's all good. You know what I mean? So I just want you guys to please be very, very, very careful with this, okay? As I said before, remember, we don't know what the economical data is going to say. So essentially trading things right now is a little bit of a gamble. Okay, you guys, so please be very careful with that stuff. All right, so anyway, that's definitely it for AMC, but I mean real fast, if we do face that bounce, from 562, the areas to the upside are absolutely obvious, actually. So let me just give you a short-term upside first. Please notice that the very top of our bearish engulfing is landing right at the golden mean 2.618 at 697. So that would literally be the next target for us to face. Now, in order for us to continue to the upside and make that higher high structure, then we can only do something like this, right? Check this out. So in this case, in the next day, we can potentially see at about a 769. It would be just over this. But please know that these are just heavy speculations, and we really need to understand what's going to happen with the broader markets first, as AMC and Mullen and GME and all kinds of tickers are just heavily reliant on the on the broader market space for 4G investments, because Arca putting out 190, people are going to lose everything thinking that's even possible. Oh my goodness. I hope you did you watch the video though, my dude? I released a video explaining that was, and I actually spoke about it too in the live situation. I spoke about getting the attention from retail so that they can see the potentials based on mathematical probabilities, not on what someone else says. In fact, this is following a very typical market cycle, and this is actually called an ABCD strategy. So you're looking at this would be, let me just show you. Oh man. So I believe I have it right over here. So this would be your X point, or the point to start the trend, right? So now point A was where everybody started loading, January 2021, right? So from here, we can actually make our B area to take profit, right? And then now we're in C, which was actually just touched just recently. Okay, and now the next target. This is the only reason why I'm saying what I am saying. In fact, in case you guys don't know, the reason why I actually started trading was other than the fact that it's my son was in the hospital, my 2-year-old, right? It's the fact that I wanted to know how in the world was, I bought around here, around the $39, $42 target where we were in AMC before, pre-split. So I wanted to know who was getting all that money on the other side. I had no idea. Somebody told me, just go ahead and go in AMC because we're gonna go to the moon. And honestly, if we didn't start a bear cycle in November 2021, it very well could have. But like I said, it's been reliant on the broader market space. So what I'm saying here is that this is following a very typical ABCD strategy. Okay, so if we were to consider the possibilities on the take profit of D, which usually tends to happen, that's why I gave that target of about $190. So it was more to grab the attention. It wasn't to say we're going there. I'm saying to grab the attention from retail so that they can understand how to mathematically make choices, right? So not based on anyone else. And I'm very curious over if you are upset for G investments, but you and I have been cool here for some time, and I'm actually not even seeing your comments anymore. But yeah. So, but anyway, you guys. So this is why I'm saying it. So this would be implied based on a strategy, and you can actually search the strategy yourselves. Okay, so search the strategy, and you'll see that the ABCD strategy is amongst the most simple and the most utilized strategies in the market. And it's a trend-based strategy. So somebody actually asked me what were my thoughts upon breaking out of this channel. I can't answer that. First of all, because this channel is bearish. So ascending channels are not good. Just to be like perfectly clear here, because upon realizing a target of about whatever that is up here, I can't see anything beyond that. You know what I mean? I would need more. I would need more data. And in fact, even historically speaking, we've never been anywhere up here. So there's no way that I can answer that question. And if I did answer, and if anyone else answers the question for you, just rest assured that they're probably making stuff up and they're blowing smoke up your booty. But that is not something that I am, it's not that I'm not willing to answer. It's just that I can't answer that. So I've the mathematical models that I put together are based around momentum, volatility, and aspects of psychological anomalies. So when I put those elements together, I am able to see the potentials of an upside or a downside coming. For example, these are all of my backtest notes regarding volatility versus momentum, excluding the other components of psychology. But this is with some psychology applied to it. Okay, you guys. So this understanding is actually something that the hedge funds do, the institutions do. It's actually very, very, very common for there to be institutions that are systematic. So that is the reason why I actually started trading. I wanted to understand, other than my son being sick in the hospital, but it's just who was getting that money on the other side. I blindly YOLO'd it, right? So I didn't know anything. So now it's a lot different, and I would never do that. And I hope to help communities out, and I have been doing so. In fact, I started with BBIG. Then I moved on to, I believe it was GTII. I stopped GTII for a while because the sentiment was getting just so ridiculous. And then I moved on to a few others. COSM is another community. CLNV is another. And now, I noticed that there's a heavy, heavy hype around AMC again. And this is very particular to me because AMC is something that I've lost a great deal of money on, and I don't want people to lose money, especially when I know that people just like me have families and have kids and all that stuff. Okay, so for 4G investment, saying Amy is like an ex-GF to me, super toxic relationship. I won't ever go back to her. I agree with you, man, and I think that's absolutely something that everyone should consider. Please know that if you are considering trading this asset, just know that it's absolutely risky. Okay, you guys, everybody knows that this is heavily manipulated. It is playing market geometry, which is why I am trying to show you this method instead of the method that has been looked at before. For example, and no disrespect to anyone whatsoever. In fact, I learned a great deal from people like Rico. He showed the Wyckoff perspective on the AMC ticker, and I was absolutely excited to learn what that Wyckoff theory was, right, as I was learning. And also Astro came about in showing us the fractal theory behind AMC. I mean amongst a whole bunch of stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that there's been a lot of there have been plenty of strategies, except that I never saw Trey. Yeah, I know Trey is a very discretionary trader. So he actually, and I'm sure he made his money on options actually. But what I'm saying here is that out of all of the AMC YouTubers and influencers, I never saw anyone practice mathematical or statistical tests. So this is where I'm coming in, and this is where I want to change the perspective entirely, because statistics are literally how the hedge funds work. Okay, you guys. So Flacco was saying Rico kicked a lot of us out of his Discord for no reason. What the heck, really? And I actually have to go back over here. So Amy, so FRGT is one of those other ones, right? I'll go ahead and add it to the list real quick. But yeah. So Rico, he was a very smart. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm speaking like he was gone or something. He's a very smart dude. And I learned a great deal over his Wyckoff theory, and then I saw that the Wyckoff theory may have not been the best strategy for this ticker in particular, right? So then I thought to myself, maybe I should look at another influencer. And then the next influencer came in. It was Astro, and I noticed that he was doing fractal theory within this. And then I think Michael Kors, he was also in it at some point very early on, and I think he used to be a systematic trader, but I never saw him actually practice system-based strategies on AMC. In fact, no one did. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, it's not the popularity. It's not any of that. I'm expressing the same systematic values that I apply in any other ticker. So if we can get a perspective from numbers, then I am not actually blowing smoke up your ass. I'm actually giving you a tangible set of data sets. And that'll give us probability, because that's essentially what the markets are, you guys. The markets are essentially it's just a probabilities game. And anyone who plays chess knows kind of that deal, right? No. Let's not talk about the other influencers in a negative way, you guys. Please do not refer to the other influencers in any negative way. Okay, you guys. We want to make sure to maintain respect as much as possible here. 4G Investments. What do all of these influencers have in common? They all used the AMC community to build names for themselves. LOL. At least with Arca, he's giving us the unbiased, fair opinion. Yeah, that's not, and it's really not me calling anything. If you guys know me, the people who know me already know that I never like to be the person to say I called this. It's not that. It's never that. It's the math. The math says what it says, and that's it. It's not me. Okay, so the historical values have already existed there. So this is why I measure it all the way, and then eventually I create a mean. Apply some statistics to it. I am not going to dare create a first standard deviation out of 48 results by hand, right? But our mean is here. you know, and I can see the upside based on mathematical probabilities. Okay, you guys. So it's not me. I never want to be known as the person who called the upside. Okay, it's not like that, you guys. The math tells us the numbers have already existed. We did this. Okay, so together we were able to see this price target. We were able to see the upside or the downside together. It was nothing to do with me personally. No personal gain on this stuff. Okay, you guys. So just know that my opinions are absolutely just my opinions are based on probabilities. Okay, you guys. So, and that's why I'm telling you that if anybody's telling you a target above what I'm looking at here regarding this channel, that would be an assumption. Okay, so in this channel here, you can honestly just see that it's just the probability would be here, you know. But beyond this area, like people would start to speculate things like this. Look, so they'll take, okay, so let's just say that D was that point of a reversal, right? Or I'm sorry, that point of take profit. But what if we actually break out above it? So people would say, well, we can actually take a range high to range low Fibonacci extension to gauge the potential upside. So in this case, we would take the range from D to C, right? So once we do that, then you start to get these ridiculous numbers up here, but they are all based on just unrealistic data because we don't have the price action here and we don't have anything historical to back it, and thus invalidating mathematics. So I want to make sure that I give you guys what I can see based on the numbers and things that exist, based on tangible data. Okay, so I don't want to give it to you based on if we did this or if that, like that becomes a little it becomes a little shady, you know. And it's nothing against any other influencer whatsoever. Nothing against that. Okay, it's just in my personal perspective, I would rather be known to be the person who said, we're probably gonna go to this target downside, right? and then not be the person to say that we were gonna go up here and then that, you know, it just tanks, right? T Wood, Arca, appreciate your style. Don't change it, please. No, I will never. In fact, I'm starting to implement more mathematical probabilities. Okay, so Andy, Arca, do you do options? I do. I do, and I long them. So for example, if I knew that AMC was going to go to the downside, I'm not saying that I have. Actually, I've never played options on AMC, but if I knew that AMC was going to go to the downside, I would actually not short the stock. I wouldn't get short AMC. I would actually long a put so that it could still help out the company, right? So going long on a put, it's essentially still dropping money for the asset, right? So in that case, I can support it and still make some gains. But even though, oh my goodness, I mean, the price action for something like for my entry would be just so tiny. It wouldn't even move the charts whatsoever. In fact, all of us here wouldn't move it. You know, we would need tens and tens of millions of dollars to actually move a bar, you know. So definitely guys, know for a fact that if you're gonna come to me regarding AMC, I am gonna be as dead ass real as I will, as I have been for any other community. And that's the way that I've been gaining some type of I don't want to say respect. I've been gaining some type of trust based on that promise, because I'm not ever gonna blow any smoke up your ass and tell you whatever. It's gonna be based on tangible data, mathematical probabilities, and that's it, man. I'm not gonna say it unless the math says it. And in this case, we're practicing geometry, right? So in a geometrical perspective, the possibilities are here in a very standard strategy, A, B, C, D strategy. It's very much in confluence with that 4-spot 618 right up here. So just know that it's based on geometry. It's based on math, nothing else. So let's go back to the chat. What are you guys saying? So. Oh, wow. They expire on Friday. Easy money printer. Man, I really hope that they do expire in the money or at the money even. If we and I imagine that those that's going to create that would essentially create a gamma ramp. So if we have a bunch of in the money calls expiring this Friday. And it depends on how many puts we have expiring too. I don't actually look at the options chain much anymore. But if we have a lot of puts or the equivalent amount of puts expiring, then that's it's not good. But if there's a little amount of puts expiring, and we have all these calls expiring in the money, then just that can create a gamma ramp, which would then create a gamma squeeze into a short squeeze. But know that I'm really weird about the squeeze scenario on this too. The squeeze scenario is something that we should know first. Okay, you guys, the squeeze scenario is based on the assumption that hedge funds would have to close their positions. They don't actually have to, as we've seen for years and years that they don't. So my actual bias towards this is towards the retail and whale short positions. I'm talking about individual big money, not institutional big money. So late to the chat. Thanks for covering AMC. You got to go back and watch what you have to say. Absolutely, Mike. Please refer back. It's been already over 10 minutes of it. So guys, please know for a fact that it's based on the retail money and individual whales that could essentially create the upside thrust for us, and not, it wouldn't be the institutions. There's an enormous amount of short pressure on this. Okay, so in fact, I am actually gonna start talking to TradingView so they can give me their extended data, because take a look at this. You're gonna trip on this. If I can search AMC, I believe that I was able to see, or not yet, right? I believe that I was able to see the AMC short volume, so that would be very good. Let me see if it's actually even still available. Yeah, this right here. So FINRA short volume. So I wanna get the live data for this so that we can see what the potentials are within this, but. You can look at it increase. The short volume is increasing as we go into a capitulation event because of the Fed saying whatever crap they just said to make the market sell off. Of course, the short positions are just going to increase the volume in this. So it's really touchy what's happening with AMC, you guys. So this is why I'm saying stay cash, keep that dry powder on the side, because you never know what the CPI data is going to say, and you'll likely see the short volume spike. I mean, it'll spike heavy if we get some bad news. Okay, you guys. So so please, guys, please know that I have to start reviewing the ticker picker, the actual picker. Okay, so that is going to do it for ticker symbol AMC. I feel like the community needs. I mean. You guys, we as together, we need time to discuss this thing, because there's a lot of people bag holding this, including myself, from back in the day. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and start referencing our tickers for tonight. Okay, so we're gonna start off the analysis with Amazon, and we officially ended AMC at 948. If you're curious, take a look right up here where it says 949. Go back to 923, and that is where I started the Amazon. I'm sorry, the AMC. The AMC. You know, the thing that we just talked about. I don't even know if it's analysis or what, but it's there. All right, you guys. So, thank you very much for listening in, and yeah. So let's go ahead and for B. What's up, B? And Javier, thank you so much for your donation, man. That's very kind of you. And yeah. Let me go ahead and add it into the list. Like I said, I will absolutely try my very hardest to get to it, my dude. So let's go ahead and put BBAI on the list. And if you're still in the chat, I urge you to stay so that you can be able to see how I analyze things in a discretionary manner without the mathematical models. You'll be surprised that my discretion is still a bit potent. Which is why I'm happy to see people come back, right? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, you guys. But let's officially start the analysis on Amazon, and this is going to be 9:50 p.m. B, where you at, man? I hope you're still there. What's up, Indra? Good to see you. All right. So really quick, this is what I was going to tell you earlier, B. So we're looking at Amazon on the daily here, and just like every other ticker in the world, we're on a what people call an expanding wedge or a descending broadening wedge, right? So this is a very typical formation, and the reason why it's typical is because that is what the broader markets are doing. Okay, so the way we can see that is by applying the SPY into a new pane, and then that'll show you the formation. Please just look at the similarities here. You will likely find that the SPY versus Amazon versus Tesla versus AMC versus GME versus all of them, you'll start to see similarities in the price action like this in a broader perspective, okay? So it's very much in line with everything, okay? So now that we see this broadening descending wedge, we actually start to build smaller descending wedges. Here's another one right here that actually failed, okay? So it's just how the markets work, right? Again, a different perspective for everybody to consider. Okay, you guys. So B, what I was gonna tell you is that I would really not go long this when you were talking about it, right? So another thing is that this is still sort of considered bearish engulfing. Okay, so I understand that we don't have that red body above the green, but when we're in a downtrend and we have the green body being engulfed by the candle, I'm talking about by the wick or the shadow that people call, right? So when we have this wick right up above here and we're in a downtrend and we have a larger red body, this is still considered a bearish engulfing. Okay, so there's no price objective for a bearish engulfing. What I can tell you is that this is suggesting a continuation to the downside. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at momentum as well, because I do have it preloaded just for you, my dude. Okay, so the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is showing us. Oh, by the way, everything should be a little bit sideways for the next few days, actually, because in respects to the CPI data coming out, macroeconomic data is just such a pickle, right? So 30-minute immediate short-term suggesting some sideways. We can't really take that into account. So let's just look at the hourly and see what we got there. Okay, so let me get rid of these things here. Lots of whatevers. Okay, so the hourly is still suggesting that sideways. Let's move on. We're just gonna jump onto the 4-hour and see what it's got. Okay, so again, we're just looking at sideways trading. The only thing that's a little bit bearish about this is always, please mind your RSI signal. Okay, this is sitting right in the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which would usually suggest a pull into the bear strength percentile. Okay, be very careful with that. 14-day simple moving average still suggesting downside. Let's continue building our blocks here. Okay, so this is sideways trading that is essentially waiting for the 14-day simple to reach and for us to use as resistance and then make a lower move. Okay, so that's it's still sideways. My goodness. And here, okay, this is when you follow. I'm sorry, I'm struggling here. I have so many things to tell you guys. Okay, so when you're looking at the short-term time frame, think of it as connecting the short term into the next term, into the next term, and then into the next term. Okay, so what I was telling you here is absolutely in correlation with what the daily is suggesting. Okay, what I said is that we're going to be trading sideways until we can wait for that 14-day simple to eventually meet us so that we can use it as a form of resistance and then make that way down. If we move now from the 8-hour all the way to the daily time frame, you can see that the daily time frame is already suggesting that downside. So this is essentially the validator of the 8-hour, and the 8-hour would be a validator of the lesser time and this of the lesser time, and inversely affected. Okay, so if you want to know how I look at momentum, it's similar to that. It's like a timeline. Okay, so yes, we're getting a downside continuation suggestion from the RSI signal on the daily here. We're approaching that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which would essentially pull us into that bear weakness, right? Now, let's take a look at that 3-day. The 3-day is suggesting that it may be a temporary downside as well as the 5-day. Okay, so these are larger time frames. So what can that downside be though? Okay, we can figure that out by taking our moving averages and also taking an inverse fib. Okay, let's load up our SMAs and see what we have. Okay, right away, I see that SMA 50 down here at about 92.84. Very likely we can actually touch that upon some sideways trading. We would have to try to trade sideways first, and then we would make that descent, okay? But let's take an inverse fib. From the current day, we're going to do it from the wick low to the wick high, or swing low to the swing high of the day's price action. And right here, please notice the 2.618 golden mean right at that SMA 50. Very likely we can actually come down here, I would say 4 days, maybe 5 days, right around there. So if you, B, I know you're short biased and long biased. If you're already long Amazon, then I would hedge. I would hedge the position. And not financial advice, okay? So I would hedge the position with long puts and or a different broker short position if that's something you want to do. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you would essentially run in the money if you get a slightly out of the call out of the money put, right? Just choose something safe, but you would be able to hedge it and then cover right down here and then continue on your long positions. If you're long, I'm not even sure if you are already, but this is presenting a potential continuation to the downside. The first target to hit after, not tomorrow, I would say in about 2 days, would absolutely be the relation here of all of these candles. The closing of this green candle, closing of this green candle, the opening of this red candle, alongside the 1.618 at 96.43. Okay, so this would essentially be your areas of per se loading. So let's go ahead and just make a trend line here for you, okay? I'm going to leave it just like this for you to refer back to this later. And the 2.618 would be that other zone, okay? Definitely know that in a broader perspective, we're looking at test number 1, 2, 3, and 4, of course, would fail, and we would need to retrace just to make sure that we can actually make that upside. Okay, so in essence, Amazon is kind of telling me that we may continue to the upside and the CPI data may be positive, but we don't know that. It's an assumption. Okay, but based on the traditional trading rules of this formation, that is kind of what it's insinuating. Okay, but that's, again, very discretionary, and it's not mathematically backed. Okay, so the take profit for this formation, which is likely to happen in a few months, if you're going to be long investment hold on this, you can expect a target of about $188 coming into maybe the end of 2024. Okay, and you can validate that with a range as well. You take it from the top of the range right now to the lower point of the range from this uplift that we just got, and you can see we're landing perfectly on that 3.272, which would in essence tell you that the 3.618 golden mean would absolutely be relevant too. Okay, so this is something I'm going to leave here for you for the future, as I know we're going to continue talking until then. Okay, you'll see for yourself that these geometrical targets are definitely in play as well. I mean, look at the relevance between the 1.618, just really quick for your curiosity, right? So the 1.618, look at the relevance with this candle here from the March 8th, 2022. And the relevance of here, we're using it all as support with resistance, support, right? So it's an inflection point even still. Okay, so there are plenty of areas that we need to look out for. This is going to be a very strong resistance. We already closed the gap, of course, but remember, like I say, guys, I keep those gaps in place for future play. Okay, so this is very likely going to be a very strong area of resistance, and also the fact that we have one more psychological component that we can actually just adjust to right here. Okay, and it's in line with that 1.272, like it always is, right? So that's gonna pretty much do it for Amazon. Okay, so be very careful with this one, B. Yeah, I'm happy that you and I are still on the same page with this. Okay, but I am expecting a pullback, reaccumulation. We're gonna see what the Fed is gonna say. I'm sorry, what the CPI is gonna say, and then we could actually make that upside. Find that loading zone, 96.43 to about a best case 92.62. But be very careful and know that the 14th of February is that CPI data release. Okay, you guys. So let's go ahead and now close it up for Amazon at what is this, 10 p.m. Good deal. Good deal. B, I'm happy to help, man. I'm sorry that I didn't get to you sooner. I was actually trying to reach out to you in comments and stuff, and I was like, there he is. I found you, right? So, so chat, let's go ahead and dive in. Remember, let's rate the trade for the longs. And this is absolutely a blue chip, right? We have a huge valuation on this company. You're talking about 1.025 trillion on the market cap, okay? And the float is a massive almost 9 billion, okay? So what are we going to rate the trade? Your D- would be your absolute max loss for the day, and your D+ would be your break even. Okay, so what are we trading at? I'm already getting a B+, Mark Roach. I'm getting an A- for Samantha. David Parr giving me an A. Very interesting sentiment already. So wow, Girthy Sponge giving me an A++. Okay, T Wood giving me a B-. Mr. Levitz giving me a B. Look at the sentiment. Okay, so we can actually tell the sentiment within us. Sebastian Lim giving this a B+ as well. This is what you would consider a safer play. The only reason that we would be a little skeptical about the upside is absolutely based on the fact that we're waiting for the economical release. Okay, Steve giving me a B+ as well. Okay, you guys. So the fact that I don't know what the CPI is gonna say, make sure to remember that this does not have to be my opinion. It can be just taken as a grain of salt, and you can actually apply your strategy to this. But if I were to personally give this a rating for the long, I would actually give this a B-. And the reason why the minus is because we don't know what the CPI is going to say. So we could essentially load up here once, and then we're going to average down that one time per the plan, and then we get a negative read on that CPI, and it capitulates, right? So we would essentially stop out. Girthy Sponge giving it a 9-. Yeah, you guys. So the sentiment is great. The only reason if we didn't have a CPI coming up, this would easily be an A-. Yeah, bloody CPI day is right. All right, so let me go ahead and make the note that let's just go ahead and refresh the time. So 10:02 p.m. officially ending, ticker symbol Amazon, AMZN, and we gave this long rating of a B-. Very good stuff, you guys. I love it when people talk about some higher end stocks, right? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker. Okay, you guys. So we're going to be looking at ticker symbol WE, and it's actually one of the plays that we actually had in the ARC Edge Trades play. And in fact, I got stopped out today by a penny. My goodness. So that is not good. It's okay. It was actually just a very small stop loss. So, and we wanted to keep it tight so that we don't lose all kinds of money, right? So, Mark, right, that's right. Let me go ahead and officially start. Ticker symbol WE, 10:03 p.m. And let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so I think I actually had a load of WE. So let me go ahead and see what we have here. Very good deal. So we even ran a back test on this, 2 back tests to be precise, right? For the ARC Edge trades. By the way, Mark, let me know if you have access to that in Discord or not. Please let one of the moderators know if I don't catch it here. Okay, so I need you to make sure to tell me if you do have access to that or not. Okay, so Nuno, Texas, I'll make sure to add it, my dude. I have kind of a full schedule, but nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and try my very best if I could, okay? So RSLS is added to the list, okay, you guys? So let's go ahead and now continue the analysis here for ticker symbol WE. Let's reference momentum versus volatility. Please notice that we actually did get that massive reversal on momentum, and it is due to the price action that we were actually expecting this to do anyway. We were looking for entry at about $1.84 or $1.80, I think was one of them. Okay, and since got stopped out at 169, it actually stopped me out right at that cent, and it moved up 1 cent. So this is that's not good. Okay, we were expecting to face a serious bounce from that 169 to the upside. Okay, but since we didn't get that bounce, this may continue to the downside even still, but let's validate. Okay, so now that we know what stochastic momentum has to say, I want to see what the RSI momentum has to say. Okay, so 8-hour time frame already suggesting a continuation to the downside. We'll get the targets. Okay, so let's start off with the 30-minute immediate short term and see what it has. Sebastian Lim telling me 185 after hours. Very interesting. Why am I getting a 170 read? Let me check actually Webull and see what it has to say. Webull is actually, or even TradeStation would do it, right? So WE, let's take a look here. Remember, sometimes I'm not getting that data. You said it was 185. Yeah, after hours 180. Oh, so this is showing me market. That's very interesting. Let's go to the daily, and still nothing. Let's make sure that we have the settings up. Symbol, and let's go ahead and see the, yeah, everything is looking good. Yeah, brother. So it's no problem though. The 185 is still within the same daily range, so it's okay. So let's go ahead and gauge the price action here, okay? If we're gonna face that upside, we're looking at 185 right here, right? So let's go ahead and make that line. We're at a critical resistance right now, and it's very important to notice that it did stop at that 185. Why? Because please notice all of these candles here. Everything is suggesting a 185 resistance. So essentially, this candle here is right at the opening of this candle. Is where we ended up, right? So TD says 170 as well. Let me open up this window. That's very curious that we're not getting the live data on every ticker. So and you're looking at 184. What? Man, why do they do this? Why is there this huge inconsistency with brokers? Oh, goodness. I mean, it doesn't scream at all that it's manipulated, right? So, oh, my goodness. And what I'm just going to look for is to make sure that I actually do have the extended hours present, right? So I'm actually, why am... Who else? So you have a WE after hours 184. E-Trade is also 184. What? I mean... Take a look at that. I mean, for real, does there really have to be extended price line for positions in order? Yeah. I mean, everything is looking good on my end. Nothing is off here. So, and in fact, if we look at, for example, another ticker, look at this NVOS, we have the after hours right here, right? So, and now actually, if we go to the 12-hour. Oh, actually, let's look at another ticker just to see if we're getting any weirdness, right? So CEOS on the, let's see, so that's closing at 0761. I'm wondering if there is. Remember what ticker was it that we were actually just experiencing that huge? What was it? I think it was on GTI, or was it the entire OTC markets that weren't giving us the tape, right? It was the level 2 was entirely gone. I'm wondering if we're facing more of that issue right now. This is very, yeah, T Wood saying, yep. I'm wondering if it's the same thing happening right now. So the price to 185, I wouldn't see this as it flashed it all the way up, right? So that was the entire OTC. Okay, so yeah, the entire OTCs didn't get level 2. FINRA hacked it again. Oh my goodness, Girthy saying, yes, it is. It totally is the shadow realm. Oh man. And Samantha saying also level 3 was out for the OTC. Incredible stuff here, you guys. So yeah, let's grab an inverse fib, right? So from the swing high to the swing low, we're still within the daily iteration. That's my point, is that the 185 target is right here, right? So we're still within this. So if we're looking at a downside target here, then the most obvious target would actually be right at that 1.272 at about 143. So I'm going to give you a very, very, very discretionary support area. Okay, so take a look at this. Okay, so 1.272 to the bodies of these candles here, right about there. So 151 to 143 could be that area for us to actually retrace to. That's a huge downside. I'm talking about the first target. The second target, I want to see if actually we have, oh, right, of course. So right at the closure of this candle, we have the 1.272. Okay, so that's another one that we want to take a look at. So if we're looking at the 1.272, the obvious thing is to come back to the 1.618, which actually has a lot of relevance with all of these candles right down here. Even the wick low of that candle there, wick low of this candle here, it's highly relevant. Okay, and the space between these candles here too. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at immediate short term. 1.618 to 156 to 163. Let's refer to the 30-minute immediate short term and see what we have. Okay, so hold on just a sec, you guys. So RSI is suggesting a continuation to the downside almost immediately. Okay, so let's see the 15-minute. 15-minute and I don't really look at these tiny time frames because of whatever, but I just want to see if there's any saving grace to this. But it looks like the 30-minute is suggesting the downside immediately. Okay, you guys. So hourly downside, bi-hourly downside. Let's look at that 6 hour. 6 hourly on a nosedive as well. Let's go to the 12 hour. The 12 hour has nosediving too. Daily failing that 14-day simple, so still suggesting a downside right here. Okay, by daily, let's see. By daily telling us that it is a limited downside. Okay, so that's why I am saying, the correlation between the by daily and these targets right down here, it's heavily confluent. Okay, so the 3-day is also showing us the potential of a short-term downside. Now, if we just zoom into the RSI, please always mind your RSI signal. Okay, this RSI signal is pivoted towards the downside, right? We're going to face two areas of support. That support would likely be the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, right? And the 14-day simple moving average. So we can actually face two areas of support before a continuation to the upside, similar to what happened here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just minimize this and take a look at the price action one more time. So yeah, it's the bounce after about 4 or 5 days. We're gonna be facing some capitulation. No, not capitulation. Consolidation. Sorry. Before the potential of a continuation to the upside. So this bearish momentum is actually in respects to the broader markets as well. Okay, so we can face some consolidation first, the downside first, consolidation second, and then the decision to make to the upside after that. But just definitely know that I'm actually looking at these targets. Okay, so just hold on to this, Sebastian. Sebastian, chat right now, reply to me right now. Did you set a stop loss or no? What is going on with you? Why are we talking about we? We should have been stopped out. I just realized that you're in the ARC Edge trades in Discord. What are you telling me? Man, I hope Nick, thank you so what, man? Dude, that's really super kind of you, man. Thank you so much. Do I owe you something from the last ticker? From the last live ticker picker that we did? I could have sworn that we talked about something. I just don't have the names listed anymore. I edit my timestamps and the ratings of these trades after, and I removed the names because I don't want anybody's. I noticed that I left Anthony on the last live ticker. He's the only name I left. Really silly. But Nick, that really means a lot, man. Thank you so much. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Okay, my dude, it's gonna go a long way with my family. Okay, you guys. So another thing here, Sebastian, is that, and you're not chatting. I need you to respond to me right now. This 3-day iteration is a huge shooting star, man. This is how we were able to know the downside, right? And that's why we had a tight stop loss. Okay, FOXO, gotcha, man. Absolutely. Now I still have to look at what was it? That ticker KPRX, right? I'm gonna put it right after KPRX, which is after Wolf. So KPRX, and then we'll look at that FOXO. I know a lot of people talking about that ticker, man. So absolutely, my dude. Thank you so much. That really means a lot, man. So Sebastian, oops, I didn't place a stop loss. Man. All right, Sebastian, I'm gonna dunce you, bro. Okay, so please respect our stop losses. Man, we don't want to bag hold, bro. I'm out of the trade with a -4%. Come on. I'm gonna look into it deeper. I want to make sure that I can save you. Okay, so we'll make sure to look at it more tonight. Okay, so these are definitely the targets that I'm looking at. But let's officially end this, and we're not gonna rate it. Okay, so that's gonna be at 10:16 p.m. and we're gonna do a no rating. Please remember that I'm gonna include the ratings and the timestamps later on in the description below for your convenience. Okay, you guys. So. Jason, what are you basing your picks on? Okay, so in the Discord, there's an area where it's in early access. So meaning it's called Ticker Picker, right? So people go into the Discord and they just type in whatever ticker they want to look at. And the Discord is free. So just you would just go in there and be a member, right? And then you look at the channel that says Ticker Picker. And oftentimes there's members there who just type in their ticker with in a criteria, right? It'll say what the current price is, what the all-time low is, or the 52-week low, and maybe some fundamental data, just something very light, right? And in that case, I have an area for me to be able to choose a few tickers from that section alongside some of the early requests here in the chat. And also in trying to include some of the donations in as well. So it's kind of a balance of Discord and Twitter as well. Man, yeah, I'm actually trying to. CLNV was actually someone from Twitter, and he was in here earlier, Weston. So that's why I chose CLNV. So it's really based on all of the social platforms. So I hope that I was able to answer that correctly. So Johnny, how to join the ARC Edge trades? So for now, there is only one way that you can join the Edge trades where you're able to see my exact plays, entries, stops, exits, and tickers and everything, right? So, and that is by acquiring a subscription package from the indicators, from the Crypstex ARC-Series indicators. Okay, this being one of them. Okay, so it's the set of indicators that I've been promoting for some time. For example, this is Sniper. Okay, so there are a few subscription packages. Just send me a DM. We can always go over those sub packages, and with that, you get access to not only the edge trades that I put together, but also the Academy. So it's actually where I start to, I actually train. I do training sessions and clinics and tutorials and stuff. So it's actually something we just started. So you would gain access to those things too upon, gaining membership with the indicators. But that's how to do it, my dude. Let's go ahead and now move on to ticker symbol WULF. All right, let's see what we got. So WULF was a Bitcoin miner, right, you guys? So this is one that faced a little bit of I'm talking about way, it was an exaggeration, right? The capitulation that we actually saw recently within this ticker. So in your Polo saying in your Discord, can we chat later? Yeah. Just send the DM to me, and then I'll see that you requested it, right? If you're not able to send it, just request me as a friend, and I'll go ahead and add you, and then you can actually send me a DM. I'm trying to reply to as many DMs as I can. Okay, you guys. Leroy Jenkins, what's up, man? Good to see you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off the analysis here for ticker symbol WULF, and we'll do that at 10:19 p.m. Thanks, Mark. Gotcha, my dude. 10 p.m. WULF. Yeah, cool stuff, Polo. Thank you, my dude. So again, you guys, this is that ticker that we've been looking at for quite some time. Let's refer to the daily. And the reason why we want to look at the daily is because this is yet again, like I've been mentioning, it's a broadening descending wedge that we've actually been looking at. Keith Munzer, you're still awake. My dude, I was actually not going to cover GTI live here. I was going to send you a personal DM regarding that stuff, my dude. So just know that it's a whole other thing for you. So let me continue here on the ticker symbol WULF, because really interesting price action regarding that upside, right? I am curious to see even what Bitcoin is doing because of this. But if we're going to reference just momentum, moving averages, and the trend, let's see it and let's start it from the immediate short-term time frame at 30 minutes, just like we always do. We already have a suggestion to the upside in the 30-minute time frame, okay? But what I want you to notice is that even in the 30-minute time frame, which is not the best time frame to actually gauge some type of forecast system, but please notice the size of the candles diminishing and diminishing and diminishing and diminishing. Okay, so as it starts to get into this zone here, it's getting ready for some type of breakout, and that may actually be to the downside or to the upside. So let's validate what that could be. Just little hints for us to consider, right? The buy hourly suggesting massive upside. Okay, very good stuff. Let's see. This is the 6 hour still suggesting massive upside as well. But please notice that we actually successfully converted that 14-day simple as a form of support now. So if we were to come back or retrace on the 6 hour, we have both the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple as that form of support before a continuation to the upside. I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and continue on to the 12 hour. The 12 hour suggesting a little bit of consolidation here. We're pensive over something, and also on the daily consolidation. Okay, the buy daily it may start to influence the 14-day simple. Okay, so this is looking more bullish than it is bearish. Okay, so and now wow. Okay, so the 3-day is actually in the process of breaking out of the 14-day simple, and I zoomed in like a crazy madman so that you can see the detail. That's what I mean. Okay, so this cross right here it needs to be validated. We can't do this tiny thing here. We need to clearly pass it in order for us to really get that bias. Okay, so, but nonetheless, it is still an upward continuation, and it is actually outside by 1%, actually outside of the gravitational zone. So this is looking pretty good. Okay, you guys. Let's go ahead and now look at the 5-day, and that'll be the last one. 5-day suggesting consolidation. Okay, so remember, ticker symbol WULF is really affected by not only fundamental catalysts, but also by the movement of BTC. Okay, as well as Mara, as well as a few other tickers like that. So in this case, we're looking at consolidation, my bro. Slightly bullish. We're going to be looking at a topside target. And if I were to give you a topside right here, it would likely be to test the resistance at about 80 cents. I would say 81.44 to about 83.07. And if it's going to fail that target, then it would likely be to the 1.272. Okay, so I'm going to make that box this box is still relevant. Okay. So, and we'll go ahead and remove this one here for now, as this will pertain to another time frame. If we do succeed this, then we'll look at these other targets. But we're facing what would be the validation of this resistance level. Okay, so we would essentially come right back up to that zone that I'm telling you, and then face that rejection. Okay, so we also just started about 2 days ago. We started this 5-day iteration. Okay, so this is a huge and very, very powerful validator of this candle here. So let me just go ahead and block the visibility of every drawing here. This is one huge shooting star followed by a confirmation candle for the downside. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that if we're following a 5-day period, we'll face that resistance and continue to the downside, just like it would any candle like this, right? So then we get that pump, and then it'll continue to the downside, come up, and then continue to the downside, zigzag in and out. And also, we really need to validate whatever's going to happen upon the CPI read, okay? Because Bitcoin is absolutely reliant on that, as well as risk on assets, okay? So. And another thing to notice is that the DXY, the dollar index, is on an uptrend. Okay, so it found support, and it found support on the weekly chart. Okay, so if it found support on the weekly, that would usually mean that Bitcoin will be affected inversely. Do not look at the Dixie chart regarding short-term time frames. I'm talking anything under a 5-day or a 3-day is I wouldn't consider that. If you need to get surgical with your targets, then yeah, look at your daily, 3-day and 5-day, right? But the weekly for the DXY against Bitcoin, which would be against all of the miners, would essentially be your best bet. Okay, my dude. So inversely speaking, DXY moving to the upside, that would affect the macro perspective of BTC. But BTC still looks strong to me, man. It looks like it's really pensive on just that CPI data report before a rip to the upside and touching 25K. So which would essentially mean that this would actually regain the outside of the channel. And then we would need to validate the support before a continuation onto the upside. Very, very, very complex breakout here. Okay, my dude. So that is it for a ticker symbol WULF. Upside before consolidation. Okay, so let me go ahead and end this now at 10:26 p.m. and we will continue. Sebastian, we'll continue looking at that ticker symbol WE. I want to make sure that you don't continue losing on that one. Okay, my dude. Please be very, very careful. And Keith, if you're still in here, my dude, again, we'll go ahead and touch bases on GTII on a more personal basis. All right, so let's move on to the next ticker, and this is going to be ticker symbol KPRX followed by FOXO. Okay, you guys, everything is looking good. Everything is looking fine, okay? We just want to make sure to prepare before our next trading sessions and have an edge over the price action, okay, you guys? Keith, not a problem, my dude. You know I got you, man. And yeah, so let me just get rid of all these comments here. My apologies. Many apologies. And Justin, I actually, well, if we do get to it, it would essentially be KPRX, FOXO, CELZ, and then TRKA. I actually think we are going to get to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and start it off with KPRX, and this is going to be for I forgot her name. Moderator Cal actually brought the attention to me regarding this ticker, and I think she also, this was an early picker. This was from the, not a problem, Nick. Gotcha, my dude. Not a problem. This is from the Discord. This was an early pick. It's just what I'm saying. The early access. Okay, so just like any other ticker, really, we're still facing that very same Northwest. We need more details and overview of GTII. Okay, all right. So Cryptic Trader, good to see you, man. Good to see you. If I'm not able to cover GTII as in here on the live, then I will put together a more detailed perspective on a video, right? Not regarding the next day's price action. I would actually, I'll give you guys a little more in depth. I'm afraid of doing that, man. I'm not gonna lie, because when I do really in depth like outlooks for GTII, I get an immense amount of negative, sentiment regarding it, and I actually stopped covering GTII for a few weeks because of that. But I will consider it heavily. Okay, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. I just want you to know that I'm not trying to get like that huge negative outlook once again, as it is damaging to the brand by itself, right? So Northwest saying, okay, thanks, you're the best. Don't be afraid. You are doing an amazing job for us. Thank you so much. That means that is honestly the reason why I continued, is because of awesome responses like those, man. I really appreciate you guys so much. So yeah, let's go ahead and now. Not everyone is in the Discord. David, what was that regarding? I'm sorry. Yeah, go, please come in, David. The Discord is really easy to use, my dude, and the moderators are there, and they absolutely. I will also help you. Navigate through that. So Keith saying some need to handle the truth. Polo, thank you, my bro. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. And Polo, just remind me real quick. That was for FOXO that we looked at for you, right? Is that what we ended up doing? I think it was for you, right? I know that there's a little bit of a delay within my my speech, but which one were you? CLNV. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. That was the one, right? We looked at it earlier. Man, it's just sideways trading for that one, my bro. And I will actually, you know what? In your honor, I will release a CLNV tomorrow. So, Nick, right, that's yours, FOXO. So, all right, so we're going to start off the analysis with KPRX, followed by FOXO, followed by CELZ, and then TRKA. Okay, you guys? We're going to try to get to the other tickers, too. We're going to try to get to BBAI and RSLS, okay, you guys? And just definitely know that it's... that it's, freaking nighttime over here. My little dude. He just has me on a flip schedule, or else I'd be streaming throughout the days. All right, so officially starting KPRX 10:31 p.m. Mark Roach, got it. Thank you so much, my dude. Really appreciate you. So 10:31 p.m. KPRX, and I think, this was the early picks. So Keith, have a good night, dude. Please rest well. All right, so here we go. Guys, this is just that same formation that I'm telling you about. It's absolutely happening in and out and in and out and in and out. Okay, this is that broadening descending wedge, which is very typical for the times. Thank you, Keith. I'll talk to you later, my bro. So yeah, I'm actually seeing immediately the supports from this thing, right? This is not 7:30 a.m. in Sweden. Is Micah or Mika? I'm sorry, you're not. I think you're not the only one. From Sweden here. There's a few other people, I think. Okay, let's see. All right, so the contact points that I'm actually looking at are these. They're pretty obvious, but I don't want to say them as obvious because there's obviously a few people trading this in different manners or in a different way. It's very jumpy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get the closest bias we can. I don't think it's this one here because in fact I really do believe that we're in some type of a breakout here, and that could be very nice for whoever is trading this long. Okay, so that's what a hamburger is all about, man. Mark Roach, we got that in and out on Palmdale Boulevard, man. Or was it Palmdale? I forgot which one I forgot where it's at. Let's see. I just want to make sure that we're looking at this correctly, guys. Just a sec. Okay, so here we go. This is the absolute support. Perfect. Lots of psychological components here, and I mean that with the gaps that are present. Okay, so for example, this is a psychological component here, a massive one right over here, right? So regarding the upside, though, it looks like we already used one as a resistance, and it would be this one here. And this is likely why we didn't continue to the upside. Remember, I keep my gaps in regardless of their fill or not. And I keep them in for future play because that's it's been happening in the bear market cycle very often. And remember, we don't trade the bear market cycle like we trade the bull cycle. Okay, so let's count the iterations. This may be trading in a larger time frame. Let's look at a 3-day actually and see what it's got. 2, 3. Oh man, okay. This is a test. This is arguably test number 1 together, right? Test number 2, 3. Fake out. Test number 4, and now trying that true breakout 5. Test number 4 is the typical breakout, okay? But test number 5 is the second most typical. When we start getting into 6 and 7, some bearish activity can be expected. Okay, so in this case, if we're looking at a 3-day iteration, since we're trading a 3-day formation, then in essence, the next candle, which would be starting in about 14 hours and 25 minutes, would give us the downside to validate our newly converted resistance into support before a continuation to the upside. It doesn't always have to happen though. I'm just giving you the bias based on traditional trading rules. And I'm talking about per the playbook rules of how to trade this formation. Know that this formation has a take profit target of about $40.39, but realize that we are in a 3-day. Okay, so let me just give you an idea as time frame. Okay, so for example, here to here, this candle to this candle, that is 82 days. Okay, so I mean, 2 months and a half is 2.5 months is not, I guess, is a good swing play, but we don't want to be there forever, right, guys? So this is essentially what I'm talking about here. And so if we were to apply the price action of those 82 days from where we are now, I mean, you can see that it's very clear that we would start the next 3-day iteration and be validating here. The next one would be validating, and then we can continue up. But there's going to be a range, and that range could be pretty massive trading here. So if KPRX is something that you're looking at for a long hold or an investment, then I guess maybe this, wherever we are now, to down to about $5.30 would essentially be the loading zone for the upside continuation over weeks and weeks. Okay, so this has already faced a reverse split, 1-40 on September 2022. Very interesting. And also, let's see. So it's never actually faced another reverse split. So everything is good. And you're actually facing earnings on, let's see, March 8th. Okay, the last earnings was a miss, and we had a beat on the earnings before that. Okay, so it's not looking too bad. In fact, there's more earnings beats than there are misses. So this, and it has another reverse split right over here of 1-15. So they were kind of battling to keep compliance. So it's looking like it actually may make a reversal, a macro reversal, but this is going to take some time. Let's refer to our momentum and see what it can do for us. So the 3-day iteration is suggesting just a moonshot, right? So let's validate the earlier time frames. Reaccumulation period on the 30-minute. It looks to be a little temporary, though. Let's continue validating. The buy hourly is suggesting a limited downside as well. Limited why? Well, the RSI signal would essentially meet the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile and the 14-day simple, which would essentially bounce us to the upside, similar to what happened right over here, and then we can continue. Okay, so this is not looking bad. If we're trading on the buy hourly, then that downside would be literally $1 less, $5.92, to test the support of the newly converted resistance into support of the broadening descending wedge. Let's continue. 6 hour is suggesting a little bit of consolidation. However, it's still bullish. You know, I don't like these little tiny pivots. They happen to fail, or they don't do what we want them to do. Okay, historically speaking, on the 6 hour, we still have massive headroom. Okay, so meaning that we can actually touch at about 90.31% in respects to this 2017 February iteration. Okay, so we're currently sitting at 75. So if this thing were to continue to the upside, it still has many percentages to go. 12 hour is suggesting a little bit of that consolidation as well, but still bullish. And in respects to the 12 hour, again, on that February 2017, 90%, and we're currently sitting at 77%, still has massive room. Okay, so the indecision stops here at the daily. Very likely tomorrow, starting in I'm talking immediate short term, okay? There is, and it's going to stop actually. It's going to stop right at about the 2 hour. Yeah, buy hourly is going to stop. So yeah, we're looking at about 592, I think so far 592, okay? The daily is suggesting massive upside. Let's see that February 2017, 89.75, and we're literally at 78.93, still upside to go. The buy daily is shorter. It's in the gravitational zone. We're going to get pulled right up to that. This is a huge moonshot. The 3-day should be just under the bull strength. There you go. Right under the bull strength percentile, and suggesting just another moonshot. Okay, the 5-day also suggesting moon, and weekly, and I assume bi-weekly and monthly as well. Wow. This is interesting. Very interesting. All right, so the monthly is making a, wow. Okay. The last time we were above the 14-day simple moving average was in June. I'm sorry, May 2021. That's the last time we were above it. So we are now crossing it. I mean, just years later, 2 years later, right? So this is actually looking macro bullish, okay? And that's in respects to what I said earlier, that this could be in a macro reversal. So this is actually not looking too bad at all, you guys. This is nice. How did you hear about this ticker? I know she's probably not here right now. And I also don't know what time she came on. I forgot her name, and I actually can't see all the way back my history, right? But she actually talked about it here, and then I forgot where she is. She's in another country though. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and look over the float. T-Wood. The float is actually a tiny 1.5 mil and a market cap of 12.4 mil. So that hedge fund, what's up, man? Sup, Arca? How's the family doing? Can you please go over WISA? I'll definitely add it, my dude. I'm not sure that I will have the time to cover it today, but very curious price action, right? I think I saw it go up. I have it in the list, okay? But I have all these requests still, my dude. But if I don't get to you, you know I will. All right, so yeah, you guys. So this is it is high risk. It's a high valuation, though. I don't like that. It's really pricey for the float and for the market cap that it has, right? So with this cap and this float, I mean, I would honestly love this to be at maybe 80 cents. So it could be overpriced, right? But this is suggesting a huge move to the upside nonetheless, and it actually looks like it moved on news. There's let's see, HOLO, APCX, and ENSV among midday movers. Healthcare, these are just gainers. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what Seeking Alpha said regarding this, but it looks like it actually pumped to the upside on news. And oh, Mark Roach, you're literally saying that. Thanks, man. So it says KPRX, this study will enroll. Oh man, so it is on news. Mark Roach, you are the best, my dude. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you, my dude. Okay, so let's gain a loading zone for this, right? So again, I was talking about 592. So if we're gonna imply that, then let's look at it. Let's look at it in respects to maybe a shorter time frame, like the 4-hour. And please remember that the trend lines are not consistent to where we're actually trading this. I said the 3-day, right? The 3-day is where we're looking at the trade. So if we're looking at a shorter time frame, these lines are not going to match. But it's okay. We're going to look at we're going to take an inverse fib to this from the very last four. Actually, if we can take an inverse fib from the close, not from the after hours, because I am certain that that's another thing that I can tell you guys real quick. If you're analyzing the ticker of your ticker, consider analyzing based on market close or based on after hours close. Okay, so if you don't have the accessibility to trade in the after hours, then do not measure your fibs on the last iteration in the after hours. Measure it based on the last iteration market traditional hours, okay, upon market close. So in this case, let's take it from the traditional hours, okay? So let's see what we have in line. Man, if we're going to really reach that gap from the 3-day, it's going to be super silly. We have the 4.618 there. I'm not sure that it can reach that low whatsoever, though, my dude. We're in. Oh, let me take a fib from the overall high to the previous day low, and see if there's any correlation here. Yeah, I was expecting to see the 618 near us. Okay, so this is very, 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 very discretionary. Okay, please know that I'm not backing this with math whatsoever, but I can already see us enter the golden pocket, which is located between the 382 and the 618. Very likely we can touch this starting in the, maybe even in the pre-market, 651. Okay, so I'm going to give you the next zone, and that next zone is in respects to the lower end of the golden pocket, okay, and that's at the NOT 382 at 528. So what I want you to do is actually just keep an eye within this area here. I'm going to make a box so that we can refer to it later when I upload those timestamps, so you can come back, right? So let's just go ahead and make that loading zone right here, right? So the two potentials. This is a high likelihood loading zone for tomorrow, right? I don't see us touching down here, but I'm going to leave it in there, 407, okay? 407 is the area that you would want to pay attention to, and I'm going to note that trend line like this. These are your loading zones, right? And then we can actually make a move to the upside that would essentially start potentially tomorrow midday or the next day. So there is a lot of stuff. I'll add that one to hedge, CFRX, right? And yeah, so if we're gonna move to the upside from here, then yeah, it would man, that's a huge amount of price. Let me take one more fib, actually from a different time frame, and we'll do it from the iteration from market close. So, oof, there's a few areas here that are very important for us to consider. Man, it is right at the gap. So I'm talking about if we can do this with FOMO being applied. I'm going to give you a topside target of about 1195. Man, that's huge. 1195 to about 1339, 1287, sorry. Shoot, that's ridiculous. Everything is suggesting the possibility too, which is just so incredible. Even if you took profit at the 1017 mark, that would be huge, right? So I'm talking about starting from like literally right down here in this area to about 10. Man, that's an exponential growth. Okay, so yeah. Please be very careful with this though, as it's just a tiny float, right? A micro float, micro cap. It's very dangerous. Oh my goodness, man. So please be careful. But this is absolutely screaming upside, like nonetheless, right? So as soon as somebody hears Arca say that upside, they're gonna be like, "What? Let's short it." I'm just kidding. I don't know that, you guys. But yeah, this is a mover. Definitely look at this. Definitely look at this area, 651 to 528 for loading in here. It's hard to tell because it's very short-term time frame downside before just moonshot everywhere, right? So this thing has high potentials. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off. Actually, chat, let's rate this. This is a good one to rate for the longs. Remember, D- being your max loss, and your D+ would be your break even, right? So T Wood saying a C+ because it is a tiny float. Indra giving it a C. I respect those. I'm gonna tell you right away that I respect those ratings. And Mark Roach giving me a C+. It's just such a tiny float, you know. That's the only thing that has me a little weird, but it's just so powerful. It has an incredible upside. Nick giving me a B- on KPRX. It's a very interesting sentiment here, you guys. So please remember that it doesn't ever have to be what I say, right? But I love that you guys are giving that feedback just like that. So let's go ahead and rate this for the longs. And remember, it doesn't have to be mine. It doesn't have to be my opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave this at I'm gonna say a C+ because if I didn't do a C+, this would be a B+ easy with a good float and a good cap, right? So I definitely, man, I see upside building on this pretty heavily. And C+ trades usually mean that it's not going to be as much portfolio as you're willing to bet, right? But you know that there is an upside to it, or there's thrust behind it. So it's a good thing. It's a very good thing, in fact. So guys, very good rating. And T Wood saying we like A's and B+ tickers. Absolutely, man. And those are honestly like the ones that I try to look for at, like, I mean, ticker symbol WE was an A- play, and we got stopped out. Well, I got stopped out. Sebastian Lim. He said, "Screw Arca. I'm gonna dip out on him. He can take the loss, not me." Man. Okay, so let's officially end the analysis for ticker symbol KPRX at 10:50 p.m. And please remember, guys, I'm going to go ahead and include all these things in the timestamps, the ratings and the timestamps in the description below, just a couple hours after I finish the live stream, right? Really appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And everything will be good and chilling, right? So this was a long rating of, yeah, I want to make sure to take that down right now because in case I forget, that's going to suck. C+, C++. All right, let's go ahead and move on to ticker symbol FOXO. Let's see what it's got. I remember we looked at it the other day, and I was kind of curious over the price action. Did we rate it? Actually, we're going to find out right now. Let's see what we rated this. We rated it a C+ because of the tiny float. Oh, my goodness. I remember that I was going to give this a B, but I can't. I can't because of the tiny. Okay, look. So... what I mean is just we have a 21 mil float, right? And then we also have a 23.7 mil. All right, so let's officially start the analysis on the ticker symbol FOXO, 10:51 p.m. Mark Roach, yeah. Okay, so dude, it's gonna be in and out on me, bro. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue now. Oh man, so the retracement did happen, and it did happen. Okay. When did we? I forgot when we actually looked at this last. And oh my goodness, we had a tiny little thing here too. The price action may have already flashed the momentum to the downside. Okay, you guys, I need you to know that there is some support on the 12-hour at the 84-cent zone. If who was it that was asking me? I forgot who was asking me for ticker symbol FOXO. But are you long? Are you long this? And also, are you at a loss? Because I'll look at this in a different way if you need me to. Yeah, what I mean is just I'll favor it to you. I'll favor the outlook. Nick, are you in the green or are you red? I want to make sure that I can answer it correctly, dude. And because this is kind of a large price decline, right? And Arca, can you do BBBY? My dude, you're still Indra, you're still green on FOXO. That's great. I will try to add it to the schedule. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get to BBBY tonight, but I will absolutely add it on there. Okay. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. So, Nick, you're at 129. That's actually not that bad at all. It's at 112. It's at 112. Let me see the daily. It's at 1, it says. Oh my goodness. Oh, and this is printing not bad. Right, so 119 and man. You're well, yeah, the daily traditional market close is it looks like it's at 119, but it's the after hour? No, it closed at 1 and it moved up in the after hours. Is that what happened? Hedge fund. Sorry, my brother, I have to get some sleep. 1:52 a.m. in New York. Oh my God, man. Huge fan of yours. I'll try my best to stay up for you. Have a good night. Hedge, trust me when I say that I'm actually in the works of trying to make this earlier. Hopefully we can get to 7 p.m. Pacific eventually in a couple weeks. But just know that I respect you so much and I appreciate you too. Okay, my dude, please be safe. All right, so I got Justin Yu saying, yep. So meaning that we did close traditional market close was at $1, and then we actually made that ascent to 119. Very, very interesting. So this actually leads me to wow. We have an upside suggestion on the RSI on the 12-hour. So yeah, let's validate this. And we're in a huge contraction phase too. My goodness. Let's see what it's got. I hope that we can flash this. If this is suggesting a limited upside, Justin, you at 112. how's man? I'm telling you, I'm telling you, WISA CFRX. Gotcha, my bro. I'm telling you that if we're gonna face a limited upside, and if it's from 112, I mean it's still within the daily range, so it's okay. It's literally right here in comparison to the price action right up here. So if we're gonna face a limited upside, it would very likely be right into that zone that we were looking at. Okay, so let's take a fib from this iteration to right up here, and of course it's landing right at the 1.618. Okay, so we had the 1.618 last time at 132. Now taking into consideration the range of the 12-hour from now, we're landing at 130. Okay, so very likely we can find a resistance there on the 12-hour. But let's validate. Let's go to the 30-minute just like always. All right, moonshot on the 30-minute. Very good stuff. Let's go to the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly making a very important cross above that 14-day simple moving average, right? We want to get that. We want to get that and maintain it there, because then we could use it as support before a continuation to the upside even still. So 6-hour time frame. Let's see what it's got. Limited upside on the 6-hour. Okay, so if we're talking about 112 or 119 regarding these different exchanges that are also just not in accordance with each other, right? The top side target is still, I'm still favoring 132. Okay, so let's go to the 12-hour where we were looking. Yeah, 132 on the 12-hour limited upside. And I'm telling you limited not only because of the 14-day simple. Remember your zones of gravitational areas. Okay, so this is your gravitational zone from the overbought percentile. Count 2% from that 70. So 72% would be essentially that area. Okay, so as soon as this thing reaches all the way up to that zone, we're likely to touch that 14-day simple as a resistance alongside that gravitational zone, and then we can be guided to the downside. But let's continue validating. We don't want to just make assumptions, right? Buy daily is suggesting a limited downside here. Okay, so not only is there a limited upside, but there's also limited downside. Let me see with the 3-day. That's pretty large, actually. Okay, so the 5-day suggesting, oh man, this is what it's literally telling me this, guys. Don't take the targets into like any type of seriousness right here, but this is essentially what it's telling me, that we would essentially do this and this and this and this, like literally sideways. It's literally telling me we were gonna do this like heartbeat here. So all right, so definitely consider, as not a financial advisor, consider removing risk if we do make that 130. I honestly feel like you don't want to be around for the downside in a week. This would over the next day, I'm talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow, potentially into the following day, would be the max area that we can actually see this upside. Please notice, please notice this huge 5-day candle here. Okay, and as you know, I talk about this all the time. This is one big ass shooting star. That's not good. Okay, so this can actually. I see this candle right now trying to invalidate this shooting star. Okay, so I like it, but so far, I mean, and I know that we still have 5 days and 15 hours to close this, but it's still in a bearish engulfing, scenario here alongside a shooting star suggesting downside. Okay, so this is why I'm saying that we may actually see like one pump, one final hurrah here, and then we can actually make a downside continuation, potentially to the current lows right now at about 90 cents, followed by a recovery to our current lows to about $1 to $1.12, and then continue on this consolidation period, which is literally what the 5-day is suggesting, consolidation. Okay, so it's a possible scalp, but I wouldn't even trade this if I wasn't actually active on the platform and in front of the screens while the market is open. Okay, I'm more of a swing trader because of my son's schedule, since he has trouble keeping his sleep, right? So my schedule is literally sleeping through market, and I'm going to be awake until like 5 a.m. So that's why you catch me responding at 5 a.m. sometimes to you. Okay, so I would consider, if it were me, I would start to remove my risk actually at about 129, 130, 132. right around there. 2 hours of ticker pickering. Oh man. So yeah, you guys, that is gonna do it for ticker symbol FOXO. Okay. Yeah, JDXL. I'm finding that the larger gains are within the swing plays. If we just practice patience and make sure that we have a plan, right, for entry, exit, stops, it actually does do a lot of good. Nick, please be very careful. What did you say you were? 119? What was your average again? I forgot what it was. 120, 129? Was it 129? Yeah, screw it. Let's rate it. So chat, let's go ahead and rate this. D- your max loss, D+ your break even. Wow, this is gonna be a break even, man. This was a D+ trade for you. Try, man, and don't get, if you reach 129, I mean, you never know. Oh, you're 119. Okay. I'm just saying that if it goes above the money and you're like within 4 or 5%, I would dip out. But you never know. But what if sentiment gets behind this and just creates this huge party again? You know what I'm saying? So we have a Cryptic Trader giving me a D, Indra giving me a C-, Mark Roach giving it a D, T Wood with a D, Samantha H with a D. Your D- would be your max loss, and your D+ will be break even. So essentially saying that D would potentially be your allowable max loss to, I'm sorry, your allowable loss to continue trading for the day. So meaning that if you hit a D- max loss, that would be suspension for the day. Do not trade. Recalculate, recollect, and come back in the next day. So if you follow a plan like that, then you'll see your consistency start to grow, and you'll also start to notice that your portfolio is starting to not be so random in the amount of losses that you have in different percentages. Keep it tight, you know. So I mean, it's gonna be if you see your 4% loss landing right at 92 cents, but your support is actually 90 or 89 cents. I understand that, man. You know, make the adjustment. I'm not talking about being to the penny, or I'm sorry, to the percentile, right? You can do minus 4.25, minus 4.28, or whatever that is. It's just you're better off looking at a controlled amount of losses than a random amount of losses, because at the end of the year, your taxes are gonna suck so bad. So let's go ahead and end the analysis here. I'm sorry. So we had an overall, guys, I'm gonna have to agree with literally everyone here. I'm thinking that the upside for a scalp trader, it would be, I would say, a C-, right? A scalper, momentum trader. But for a swing trader like I am, I have to rate this a D. So I like just a flat D. And that's because I'm pretty certain that, like, if I go to sleep and I just leave my orders in, it'll probably go to, like, my take profit being 130, it'll likely go to 129.99999 and not take my profit, and then I'm going to hit that, like, half loss. As per usual, right? So it's not going to trigger my sell, and in fact, it's going to take me to a half loss for the day. Freaking story of my life. So let's go ahead and just rate this for the swing, right? So I'm going to give this the long rating of a D, a straight D, right? So no give on this one. But if I were scalping it, I promise, I would have given this a cool C-. Small portfolio bet, you know, make that short scalp, and then that's it. Mark Roach saying the upside seems so limited at the price, in my opinion. Absolutely agreed. So let's go ahead and now move on to the next ticker, you guys, and we're gonna take. Now let's finish it at 11:04 p.m. And of course, let's go ahead and include our long rating. Oh, so if you hear me typing, it's because I'm typing into my laptop in front of me, which has a whole set of notes, right, regarding the tickers that we're evaluating right now. And I have two screens above me, which are the Apple screens, that are, it's this one here with a chart, and then the one on the left is the one with the chat and the ratings of the whole YouTube live thing, right? It's just screens on screens on screens. Okay, it's ridiculous. Man, I need like somebody else. Mark and Samantha and DJ and all these. Oh man, you guys are so awesome to me, though. Trust me when I say that this would be impossible without you guys. So now let's take a look at ticker symbol CELZ followed by TRKA, right? CELZ was regarding, I think it was the morning time for my girl in Sweden, Mika or Mika. Sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Is that MEEEEKA as in me, or is it MI as in MAIIII? All right, so let's see CELZ, you guys. Let's pull it up and then continue on our analysis. Okay, CELZ. Yeah, I actually typed into the wrong keyboard. Guys, come on. You're dropping the ball. Okay, and we're officially starting at, thanks, dude. Thank you. Mark, I mean. We're officially starting it at 11:05 p.m. Okay, good deal. Let's see. So let's go ahead and just open up the log chart just like we always do, right, you guys? And then let's look at this. Let's look at the daily and see how it's been trading. Okay. I mean, formation's already present there. Look at this, you guys. Take a look at this just barcode madness, right? Let's let's measure that. Let's measure what happened here. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, and actually, you know what? Let's take the length of this. I mean, you would have gotten stopped out at one point, right? So let's just do it to here. This was 16 days of 50% up and down. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Oh, man, these tickers are funny. These are so funny. They do some weird moves, and then just they attract a sentiment, right? And then you could make some serious gainer. But not always. What is that, you guys? What? Okay. Why did it do that? Likely on news. But it's just, okay, so Creative Medical Technology secures IRB approval for diabetes. Oh, that is totally it, Mark Roach. Look at that. And it's already in for trial. And the shares surge upon that news. Okay, so is it a game changer, though? Is that like the FDA approval is great? That means that they're official or they're legit, right? So... But could it be like a forever upside? I'm not even sure if this thing can actually continue. In fact, look at the sell volume on this. It was from the daily iteration. Oh man, that is massive. 137 million. The last candle was 139,000. Man. Okay, what's the cap on this? Let's see. You're looking at a 7.28 million cap, okay? And the shares, the float is actually 13.6 mil. It's not huge. It's really tiny. It's really tiny, and it's already valued at $1, which is just massive. Let's see. This thing has faced one reverse split in the past. It was 1 to 150. Holy goodness. Okay, so another split here on 2021, right at the start of the bear market. 1 to 500. Okay, there's a lot of dilution in this. And I'm wondering if this is actually going to continue diluting because of the huge take profit that may happen. You have some more info? I don't even know how to say that. What is it? Antigenicity, reduced toxicity, and large-scale clinical expansion. The primary objective of the study is to evaluate CELZ-201 as a treatment for patients with newly diagnosed type 1 diabetes. Oh, so they're okay. Damn. It's not bad. Let's refer to momentum and see what is that. Actually, let me see the 12-hour. 12-hour actually aftermarket closed at 102. I know there's going to be inconsistencies. Traditional market closed at 104. So the price action maintained nicely, but look at this. Somebody took profit big time. So from 104 close at market, it dipped all the way to 70 cents, leaving. Okay, let me, this is actually something that we have to play really cleverly. Okay, so meaning that we take the 12-hour gap, right? But we play it on the daily, because the daily is essentially going to tell us that overall upside or downside. Okay, so let's pull up momentum and see what we have. Okay, my goodness, man, this is was it? I enunciated it like in seven different ways. Look at that daily there, but I'm sure in the 12-hour got flashed. Very interesting that it would maintain that. It still has a continuation to 88%. We're sitting at about 82. Let's start off with the immediate short term and see what this thing can give us. It's telling us that it would actually face a very limited upside on the 30 minutes. So if somebody's scalping this, very likely the 10-day simple moving average located along the resistance of the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple, located at about 105. So that's not even a good enough trade. The 30-minute already converted that SMA 10 into a resistance, so it could guide. But let's go ahead and see the buy hourly. Sorry. A little bit of consolidation, which is actually correlated to the 12-hour. The 12-hour is suggesting that the consolidation as well, slightly bullish. And it looks like we have been using this 14-day simple as a form of support over and over for days. Let's go ahead and look at that's right. Let's go to the 6-hour. Consolidation on the 6-hour as well. So if we consolidate here, the chances of coming back down to test at least to support the top side of the gap in the 12-hour is likely. Okay, it becomes a little heavier as we stay there. So let's go to the 8-hour. The 8-hour is suggesting that, look at this, okay? So the 14-day simple is landing right at 60% and suggesting a short-term downside, limited downside, okay? So right away, I can tell you that I'm still giving precedence to that 71-cent zone. From the 8-hour, I feel pretty safe about taking an inverse fib, actually. So let's see this. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea to consider the 1.618. And let's see oh, goodness gracious, of course. All right, so all of this resistance, support here, all of this here. So I'm going to give you a range, okay? So in respects to the bodies like this, right, to the 1.618 is actually the more likely support touch. And I guess I'm saying I'm favoring the downside first. And sorry, remember, limited upside though, that's only a couple cents. I would not scalp this. Okay, but if we're looking at the 8-hour, it looks like we may have the chance to actually find support from the 1.618 at 81 cents to about 77 cents. And there is also a high likelihood that we use the 1.272 as just that area for a bounce. And why am I saying that? I'm saying this because there is the potential to where we can find support from the 14-day simple moving average in this fashion here, like away from the 14-day. So this could be like the 1.272 versus the 1.618 touch, right? So this is why I'm giving you several targets. Now let's continue validating. Is there an upside to this? And it's starting on the daily. Yeah, so it's starting on the daily and it says it's continuing to the upside indefinitely. But the thing is that these time frames are likely flashed because of the news, because of the upthrust that we got. Okay, so this huge thrust to the upside flashed all of the time frames, and it's going to be harder to manipulate the higher term time frames because now they're already flashed to the upside. It's going to be dwindling down little by little, though. I wouldn't. There's FOMO and man. Okay, this is too psychological. This is too psychological for this to be 300%. Damn. This is too psychological for us to consider. So I wouldn't trust this for a continuation to the upside, knowing the fact that somebody could just take profit and then just capitulate this thing. But over the last few days, it looks like this thing has moved about 314.57% from the low of about 34 cents. 52-week low is 33. So the extension on this is already maxed, right? But it looks like we still have overhead, and that's a 95% on the buy daily, which could be a lot higher on the 12. Let's actually shorter. So 87% on the 12 hour. We're currently sitting at 82. If it does, oh man, and here's something to watch out for. It looks like it's finding support from the 12 hour 200-day simple moving average. That's nice, but it's very close to it, and it already failed it once. See what? Let me zoom in. This is what I mean. We failed it one time, right? That means it's knocking at the door at it, and we already knocked at the door on that previous 12-hour iteration as well. Where's the 200 on the daily? I don't think we're going to see it. Oh, it's all the way down here. Okay, and the 8-hour, let's see. Do we have any resistance from our moving average? It's really interesting that the 10-day has crossed everything. Right, so yeah, the 12-hour would be that best guess. So very, very limited upside. And I was telling you 104, 105. It's look at the knot 618 at 104. So it's a strong area of resistance. If it does face a little bit more of an upside, I would give you a range of the golden pocket. And that would be my best guess. And I'm talking about technically speaking because there's nothing to measure the psychology. I don't know when someone is going to decide to just go in this $10,000. Let's go. 50K. Let's go in 200K, right? Like, we don't know that. There's no way that we're going to know that. So these plays are very dangerous and heavy gambles. But if you know how to hedge against your longs or against the shorts, then maybe there's something here, meaning that you would risk it's kind of like what options trading considers a long strangle. Where you have a certain amount of puts versus a certain amount of longs, and you use certain stop losses, that to trigger based on the movement going against your favor, right? So if you know how to short versus long, don't short and long the same asset in the same broker. That's not good. Okay, use a different broker if you're going to hedge like this, right? I'm talking about if you're already in the money. But you could play it that way, but I would really not suggest that. I am favoring the downside after a little bit of an upside, and this thing could actually come back down and literally accumulate before another run to the upside. We don't even know. There's no way of telling this. But it's heavily impacted by emotion right now, and this is likely going to continue running, and it's going to trap people. So if I can give you any like valid form of advice, is to maybe stay cash and don't maybe not trade this. This is we need it to calm down. We need it to simmer down. This is way too hyper. You know? Too much candy, too much sugar for the kid. We should not rate this either. And the reason why I say that is because I want to make sure that the community is protected. I don't want anybody to FOMO into this, into thinking that, screw it, there's a chance there, right? There's always a chance, but there's always more opportunities in the market that are safer too. So, we got to weigh those. I wish you could, sometimes I wish you could just see me because I'm like doing things with my hands, and like I feel like you can see me doing things with my hands, but you don't see me doing things with my hands. So it's just, you just hear when I'm making a gesture with my hands, it's just silence. And it's just me like showing you like whatever, you know what I mean? All right, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol CELZ, sorry. And we're going to officially end this at 11:19 p.m. All right, so let's go over, guys, let's go over ticker symbol TRKA. What is up with that ticker? My goodness, man. I remember we looked at it yesterday, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what happened. I didn't keep track of it. Right, but Polo saying, thanks, guys. Have an early morning. Sent DM, bro. Oh, awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks, Polo. Be safe. Be well. Take care tomorrow. And we'll talk. All right, my dude. So I'm sorry, the chat. I'm sorry, Steve. What you saying, man? Arca question. Can you explain why my broker has GTI with what 50 cents? And I asked, no way. Why is the spread so? Wow. What? Oh my goodness, man. Those are the images that people post up on Twitter claiming huge manipulation, which I'm not gonna lie, that's a way to manipulate the markets. Okay, so if you've ever experienced live data, pay attention to the spread, because sometimes when something's moving on to the upside a little too, Mark, I'm gonna go ahead and start TRKA in just a bit. I actually need to answer this. When you please pay attention to your level 2 if you have that, right? So looking at a, like, Cryptic Trader knows this, but looking at the level 2 on like DAS Trader, you're able to see like real time. I'm talking about real time and competitive time data feed. Like, it's right away, right? So you're able to see the spread, and you're able to determine what the higher end and the lower end of that spread is. And based on the width, you start to understand where your entry could be as a scalp trader or as a momentum trader, right? So you can, or even as a short trader, you'll be able to see, oh, there's my bid or there's my ask, so then you'll see how it starts to fluctuate. I can't explain it to you. It changes colors. So it's like it starts turning red, it goes yellow, it goes green, it goes in between, I didn't mean to rhyme that, by the way. So what I'm saying is that if you pay attention to the lower end or the higher end of the spread, sometimes, and very much sometimes, I'm going to give you in a long position, if something is squeezing to the upside, you'll notice a very rare, very, very weird, like a spread at the bottom, saying that they want to open up a long position with like some extraordinary amount of shares, like a huge position. I'm talking like $5 million at this price, right? So that the algorithm will notice that it has a $5 million bid, right? So the algorithm will start to pressure the price to the downside to get to that, so that it can provide money for the company. You know what I mean? So that's that, and it's actually the manipulation right within that from the market maker themselves, right? So they want to stop it from continuing to the upside. This is a form of manipulation. Another form of manipulation could be the options contracts, right? I know, man. GTII is ridiculous right now, man. It's just it's at 212 though. We're good. So here's another thing that you should consider. It's for example, when we were capitulating in the markets, man, this is high speculation, okay? But there's a team called the Plunge Protection Team, right? So, and I honestly think it's BlackRock, and I think they're the ones who are kind of responsible for, or they're the Fed's number one client, the Federal Reserve. Yes, Samantha, literally just like that. There's several ways of that manipulation. Absolutely, Mark, not a problem, you guys. I'm happy to share this. And what they did was when earlier this year, earlier this year, when we were very close to are we capitulating or are we not? Are we starting a bear cycle, or what's going on, right? So it's BlackRock. I'm telling you, I really think it is them, the Plunge, the PPT. So they the Fed would essentially contact the team and say, hey, so we need to open up an order for these amount of put options because we're capitulating, we're falling. So what they essentially do is that they open up just a storm of puts that they can dump onto the market, and it'll pressure the price opposite of that. So by dumping all these put options, the price action starts going up. They just literally dump it into the supply, right? So it's incredible the way that they can figure out how to manipulate price action, right? So that's That's another way. But yeah, if you have live feed, if you have live data like a level 2 from, for example, Dash Trader or whatever order book you have, pay attention to the huge weird orders that come down. People take screenshots of them all the time, and they post them on Twitter saying, "What's this order doing there?" Like everybody's trying to make this thing go to the upside, and you can see the spread like kind of fluctuating within a certain zone, and then you have this weird freaking thing down there with $1 million. Yeah, the time and sales don't lie. It is what it is. It's called the disbursement of returns. So that is all real data in real time, so it can't make that up. There's no way that live feed can make up a digit. You have to physically put it in there, and that's how, man. It's just and you'll see it happen as you start to as you lead up to a geometrical target. So oftentimes they'll get it close to that 618 target, and then it'll reach that target, and then boom, like they'll dump another huge order to make that algorithm be like, okay, well, I need to go and pick up those millions of dollars instead of picking up these hundreds of thousands here. So my goodness. T Wood saying, I've heard the bids and ask are coded for brokers talking to one another what they need. Well, I mean, they it's actually computers trading against computers at that point. You know what I mean? It's algo versus algo, and the liquidity trap is actually made for their benefit, so that they can make sure to provide liquidity to the company that they're market making for. Yeah, that's I mean, the whole point of the stock market is that. That's the whole point, is that they can ensure or guarantee money for the company that they're market making for. X-Ray Dub, I'm sorry, Samantha, and let's see. I've also had my limit order skipped and put on hold for hours. Those are FTDs. Those are the failure to delivers. Again, another thing that a lot of people post screenshots of. It's a huge problem, And then based on however many failure to delivers they have, the sentiment would start cataloging the amount of FTDs that there are in the registry, right? So then they'll start saying like, hey, there's 2 million FTDs just recorded yesterday, and over the last month there's been these amount of many, whatever, and what's going on? Like, why are you, the SEC, where are you at? But the SEC or the DTCC is that they're not going to take action on something that's happening right now. They're likely to take action onto something after it's been done and dealt with by retail, meaning that we lost all the money, and then 2 years later they'll make an amendment or something. So it's a really delayed and kind of, in a sense, a little bit of a crooked system. All right, so this is literally why I keep on saying that we have to study the mathematical models instead of, alongside psychology and some discretion, right? But just if we can trade like the algos do, then we have an edge, you guys. This is dangerous. It's really dangerous. The market is there to take your money if you don't know how to play it. You will lose your money because they are so clever. And the computers, man, come on. It's just like they just want to take the money. They need it. Mark Roach saying Gary Gensler is asleep at the wheel. My goodness, man. Has that been said about so many of the chairs, of the SEC chairs? Trust me, it's not only him. I mean, look at the I forgot what his name was for the 2007 to 2009 housing bubble. Like the SEC actually had to remove a lot of employment. So when they removed a lot of employment, they kind of crippled the system. I'm talking about the process that the SEC would undergo that was crippled heavily. So everybody would actually just be chilling at the office at the SEC, So that was kind of like, it was really upsetting, actually. A lot of people lost their lives and money. Not good. Yeah, so Samantha H saying, I usually skip the operator and press trading desk. Yeah. T Wood saying, not seeing any issue from the last 3 years. and this year, bam, like 4 issues. Yeah, man. And they're gonna start popping up because it's just people calling bullshit. You know, it's just, it'll happen. It's just what I'm saying. If you guys haven't seen the HBO movie, The Wizard of Lies, that'll explain exactly what I'm talking about here. That's actually the Bernie Madoff story, and it's played by what's his name from Meet the Parents. Forgot his name, but you know who he is. Excellent execution on that movie, and the acting. The whole plot was great. But everything that we've been talking about right now, absolutely explained in The Wizard of Lies, HBO Max. Yeah, you guys. So I strongly recommend for you to, Mark Roach, The Wizard of Lies. I'm telling you, man, I forgot the dude's name. From Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers, right? So, Meet the Parents. Was it the movie? Yeah, it is that movie, and it's what's his name? I'll tell you right now. Robert De Niro. It's starring Robert De Niro, and you'll know the other actors too. But that explains. I mean, if you guys, essentially, oh man, you illegal naked shorts is the very, very bottom of the issue. It's so much bigger. Robert De Niro. He played Bernie Madoff, and if you guys are not familiar with Bernie Madoff, he's actually the person who drafted the rules of the NYSE. Man, I mean, he was the chair of NASDAQ. He practically invented NASDAQ, man. I am not going to say anything about the movie right now, but I really urge you to watch it because that will show you just how crazy the markets can actually be. That it's truly upsetting. You know, it's my goodness. Samantha, I'm stopping. What you got to say? Ben Stickler. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to start naked shorts. Naked shorts break my brain. How are you able to sell a stock you don't? only in America, right, my dude? Ben Stiller, you were talking about? Yeah, no. I don't think I saw him in that movie. Meet the Parents was Ben Stiller. No, it was a Robert De Niro. Oh my goodness. He wrote Law Allowing Naked Shorts. Actually, there were magazines, People magazines, like stating naked shorts and why you should consider investing. Like in the 90s. It's oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's just they call it naked because there's nothing. It's a nothing burger. They call them synthetic, or they call them, it's just they're empty. So meaning that they're bare. It's just it's nothing. I don't know how else to put it, but literally just like that. T Wood saying I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. I totally know, man. Tropic Thunder. Oh my goodness. X-Ray Dub. Because they don't own the asset before selling to you. Yeah, I guess you just have to you pay a premium based on the borrow fee. That's it's called cost to borrow, right? Or there's a cost to borrow max, and there's a cost to borrow average. So if there is an asset that's capitulating, it'll go into heavy cost to borrow, right? Before it goes into SSR, which is a short sale restriction. Man, you guys are really testing my fundamentals right now. I do not practice any fundamentals like that anymore, you guys, but I'm surprised I still know all that. I really don't care for any of that stuff anymore. Since I realized how they do it, I don't care. I just the probable targets are in front of us all the time. They can't just short. You know what I mean? Like of course they will at any moment they will, but they can't just short it to wherever it goes. They have to put it to a certain target, and I honestly feel like they do that because they want to kind of control or hide it in a certain way by making it geometrical. Well, it was actually right at the 1.618, so we shorted it. You know, it was retail, not us. Oh my goodness. Yeah, hell is sketchy. It really is. Amy is saying they just passed more bills about data feeds. Not to our favor. Damn, definitely not. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you that this restructuring of the market started like 2 or 3 years ago, beginning with GME. After that, I mean, they started trying to prevent whatever happened with VWAG, with Volkswagen, right? When it hit 1100 or 1000 or something, they started trying to prevent that. And then it happened again, you know, like retail realized that we as a whole community have the power to squeeze, you know, short sellers. So in that event, margins became a lot wider so that they don't have to get margin called, which is now why, theoretically speaking, they don't have to cover. They can hold that short position at a loss forever. I'm not kidding either. So X-Ray Dub, it's to control the price action, in my opinion. Yeah, man. That can be. They have algorithms to buy and sell as fast as they want to manipulate the price up or down. It's up to us to know where that down or upside is. The probabilities of the targets to the upside or downside is what I'm saying. That's how we gain our. Yeah. T-Wood, HBO show, Gaming Wall Street, guys. That is an excellent show. It's got only freaking 2 episodes or 3 episodes or something. So good. And it's actually with some bandmates of mine. The primary guy, he actually was a singer I think he was a singer or guitar player to a band named Breathe Carolina. I actually toured with them. I'm a musician, by the way. X-Ray Dub, Arca, just create a hedge fund and we will never lose, guys. You have no idea how many times I've been told that, like that I should start a hedge. That's a lot of work. And also, I would need a minimum. I would probably start a mini hedge fund with 40 million or 50 million. And I wouldn't even be like eligible for long-term options contracts. ISDA, the ISDA. Like I would need, I don't know, 200, 300 million more, 500 more. I don't know, something big, some huge thing. This is TRKA.NO, guys. Justin Yu, I gotta get this cleared up. Oh, by the way, guys, let's go ahead and just I still have a bunch of tickers to go, right? But let's go ahead and finish off with this one for tonight. But I will continue evaluating tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow we're gonna stream live again, so we'll continue on those tickers as well. We still have like WISA, CFRX, BBBY, BBAI. We still have a few of them to go. So 11:37 p.m. Let's get this officially started. Justin Yu over here waiting patiently. 11:37 p.m. All right, let's see what it's got. This was the one that we were just talking about recently, and man, we're still using our targets. Let me block some visibility, or I'm sorry, clear some visibility here, so that we can see what the price action is doing. Okay, so series of higher highs and higher lows, still looking good. This is very much the price action that everything is kind of doing. Look at GTII doing the exact same thing. Check it out. Right here. This zigzag happening is literally what's happening in the broader market space. It's the same thing. And I'm telling you, it's because we're all pensive about the macroeconomic data that's coming out. So if we're facing a pullback, that pullback zone may have already been met, but I'm not certain that this target would eventually be the one to end all be all, right? So if I were to favor another target below this, because this is very bearish price action, I would heavily consider these candles here. And that would be the 1.618. I will continue though. Hold on. Okay, we have a failure of the SMA. The SMA 14 on a daily. That's already a little dangerous. Okay, so let's go to the 30-minute and see what we have. 30-minute is suggesting this could be a saving grace. Justin, if you are in this and if you're long this ticker already, let's oh man, Hold on. I just looked at that. You have 500 on this, bro. Okay, hold on. Let's really look at it, because I don't want you guys to. Oof. Okay, so there is consolidation coming in on the bi-hourly. Let's look at the 6-hour. A little bit of consolidation as well, but the 30-minute is suggesting immediate up. Okay, so if we're suggesting upside, and we're well within that gravitational zone. Okay, so if we were trading the 30-minute, we can take the most recent price action. Right, this is something I would do if I was day trading or scalping. I would look at the recent iterations. Let's look at the 15-minute and see how close we are to that upside. Okay, and the 5-minute too. Okay, so that validates, and here's the limited upside. Good. Okay, in the bi-hourly. Okay, so it's okay. We're gonna face an upside only. Does this have aftermarket? I'm sorry, after hours. Sorry. Yes, it does. So it actually went down. So 21.29 to 21.12. Let's go back. Okay, so Justin, you're saying 209 is what you're looking at. Okay. It's still within the range, so that's still fine. It's literally right here at the 0.786. Okay, so if we do get to have that upside, let's move in the moving averages and see what the saving grace could be, because starting on the 12-hour, no, let's see, was it the bi-daily? Yeah, I think it's the bi-daily. No, it's starting on the daily. The daily iteration is giving us that downside for sure, right? So even into the bi-daily, let's see the 3-day and the 5-day downside. Okay, so it's telling us that we have a limited downside though, but please know that on a bi-daily time frame, the 14-day simple moving average moving down, let's see, moving down 10%. It's not 10% price. It's 10%. It's 10% momentum. So that means that the nearest geometrical area, I'm talking 2 levels of geometrics maybe. I'm gonna get this closer. But I want to give you the upside first. Okay, so that's gonna be. Yeah, and in respects to our, oh, I forgot my EMAs too. Let me get the EMAs up in there. And is DBSI giving us a bull right now? It is. Good deal. Okay, so ARC DBSI from the Crypstex indicators is giving us a bull signal. And it is telling us that the bears are leading. Okay, so if we're getting a bull signal, likely we're going to move up for very short term before the bears take over. So let me go ahead and block out DBSI and now take a look at the EMAs. So so since we don't have a moving average right up here from the primary ones, then a geometrical target would be the ideal way to look at this. The upside continuation can be at, let's see, I'd say the 1.272 to the 1.618, 21.29 to 21.51. Likely to cover this gap. I mean, we already covered it, but I mean, just I'm telling you that we use these gaps often. And also the fact that it's at the resistance of all of that. Okay, so this is very likely the area to touch if we can have a bigger impulsive move to the upside. Then the next curious target for me is actually the SMA 50, or could it be the EMA 30? Let's see. Yeah, it's the 30. It's a 30 exponential, and that would be located right at that 2.618. Okay, so if we're going to take this into consideration, know that this moving average in a 30-minute time frame can move down, thus making the 2.272 a high likelihood as well. Okay, so these are my 2 targets for you that you should take into heavy consideration. Okay, one more likely than the other one naturally. Okay, so if we have an impulsive move to the upside, this is likely to happen. Now the rejection is where we kind of need to really focus in on, right? So let me open up another chart, and in this case, we're going to open up the 12-hour chart and see what we have for that downside. Okay, because if we were to let me make a trend line here, because there's one way that we can see a potential target, and it's a real poor man's way of looking, right? So yeah, it would be just like this here to these touch points, that one there too. So we can see on a 12-hour iteration maybe 16 cents. This or 16 to about 17 cents, because it can take a couple days, right? This is very, very discretionary, okay? I don't like to do things like that. I need to validate them more in other ways. So let's go ahead and now load the moving averages here too, and see if we have any confluence with anything, okay? So the SMA 50, of course, it's already leading that. So by the time we reach that, it'll likely find support from the SMA 50. Okay, literally moving in this manner here. So now let's take a fib and see if we can gain even more correlation, because that could, I mean, it's all about correlation, guys. Please remember that we need to just validate our moves alongside prior price action, right? So the curious thing is that if I'm giving you 16 to 17 cents, I'm giving you the overall range here. I'm talking about current price action to the current wick high from Monday. We're looking at between the one spot 272 and the one spot 618. It really is. I'm going to take a closer range though. Okay, so this is my overall range, right? That we're looking for downside. Now a closer range. To find something between this is the way you do it. Actually, you would actually take the iteration of the 12-hour before this one. Okay, so meaning not this candle. Let's take this one into consideration. So wick high to wick low to the wick high, or range low to range high. And you can see that right in between this area, the most obvious target would be that 2 spot 618 at 1631, right where I was talking about. Okay, so if I can now provide you a closer range, it would literally be that 1727 to 1631, and that would be even yet a closer range. Now, if you're very curious to see the potentials even deeper, you can still do that. Okay, the same way you surgically apply it little by little. Take the prior iteration from the 4-hour. You don't want to take the aftermarket. Take the after hour. Sorry. Take the market close, and take the range like this. And notice that our top side support is right at the 4 spot 618. So if you're talking really close, 1781 to 1631. That would be like my dissected area of support. Before a continuation to the upside, we have to validate that upon that touch. We have to see if momentum was flashed upon making this downside move. Okay, because all these green, I'm talking about massive amounts of green candles here on the 5-day. We still have 5 days and 14 hours to close this iteration here. Still looking good. The green candle is still larger, so this is still good. So it could potentially mean that it is some type of retracement. But if we were to look a little closer, please notice this candle. Okay, so huge shooting star or inverted hammer at the top of a trend. Justin, know that I can't officially answer that, but if it were me, I would remove my risk. And remember that I don't have any say. I don't have any say over when people are just gonna get like overly bullish on this thing, like out of nowhere. I don't know that. There's no way I can know that. But momentum and moving averages and price action and candle analysis is suggesting that. So if I'm giving you discretion versus some geometry, and they're kind of aligned with each other, then I would kind of favor the downside a bit. Let me see the moving averages here actually on the 5-day. So we had recently, man, that's too big of an upside for us to consider. If this thing does find support within the range that I told you, right, 1631 to 1780. And this thing still continues to the upside. A potential 2-month target could be 54, 3-month maybe. So just for you, Justin, just know, my bro, that it's don't if you're in the green, don't give them back your greens. Keep them. And if you still believe in the play, then look for the reason why. Look for the reason why you believe that the play can continue to the upside, and then gain another entry. But keep your gains. You know what I mean? Angel Eyes, what's up with you? So I don't think GTI can come up with the 100 million, and don't want to say it so as to not scare investors. Angel, I don't practice fundamentals. What does that mean? Are they $100 million in deficit that they need to come up with to keep compliance, or what? X-Ray Dub, what is your 1-year target for the SPY? Let's see. Let me go ahead. We're not going to rate this, right? Because it's still suggesting the downside. So let's go ahead and officially end this, and I'll take a look at that last one for you, my dude. No problem. As this was actually my last ticker to evaluate. But 11:50 p.m., and we're going to make sure that this does not get a rating, okay? But Justin, I want to make sure that you're okay on this one, my dude, okay? So just be very careful. Be very, very careful with this one. Jeez. I hate to hear that. Oh no, Angel, I'm saying that I didn't understand like what that means. Meaning I was asking to see if they're like $100 million down, or what they need to come up with $100 million for something. What in the world? Like that already sounds like a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. Levi saying keep a good eye on VQS. Oh, okay. So it had a news drop today. Most people didn't see till the end of the day. Got bullish and will be bullish today. Okay. VQS. If that is, guys, please make sure to join the Discord, and we could talk about these tickers more, right, and evaluate them together. To buy CRTD. Oh my goodness. So you're thinking that there's the potential that the merger may not actually go through. Holy goodness. Yeah, isn't that the case? Wasn't CRTD buying out GTI? I don't remember that. Crypstex ARC-Series saying no, GTI is buying CRTD. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. That is not good. And how do you know that they may not have the capital for that, Angel? Did you hear or did you read something? Or was it just like someone's speculation? Or is it, it's not that it's uncredible, right? I'm just saying that, like, was it a credible source, actually? What was it like? We want to also make sure that whatever the news is dead. I want to know if, like, the news outlet was something that, like, a hedge fund owns. You know what I mean? Like, are they trying to spread FUD? Could it actually be tangible? VQS announces a multi-year deal with an E24 Technologies LLC DBA transcription hub. Wow. That's the news that people were talking about today then, Mark. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So you're talking about SPY, and you're not talking about the S&P 500, right? You're not talking about the. I mean, yeah, we could see that. In how many years did you say? Sorry, I totally missed it. I'll look at that target for you right now. George T. Never wanted GTI to buy CRTD. It's good news to me. Wow. Incredible. Let me go back to that. I think so. What's your 1-year target? Okay, X-Ray Dub asking me for a 1-year target for the SPY. That's a very, as I'm looking at the chart right now, dude, and to tell you the truth, if we get a good CPI read, that would essentially be a stimulation event for the economy, right? So if we're assuming that we're gonna be facing this a good CPI read, that means that we would essentially start our ascent, right? We're gonna make our official upside and true breakout out of this broadening descending wedge, massive broadening descending wedge that we've been riding since the beginning, November 2021, right? So right over here. Okay, so arguably December 2021. So we have to look at why. First of all, the stimulation of the economy, meaning that we're gonna start buying crap if we get a good CPI read. We're gonna be like, oh my god, we're gonna have a dovish Fed, and we're to the moon, and then we start buying all this stuff, creating the inflation again. So if we create an inflation again, that means that we're gonna see a huge bear market rally. And it almost may feel like the bull cycle's back on. Like, I mean, I'm talking about an unprecedented bull trap. So if I can give you a half a year target, I honestly could see us touching 462. But let me actually look. The 462 target landing right at that 2 fib, which is right under the 2.272, man, oh my goodness. And it puts the all-time high right in between the 2.618 and oh goodness gracious, man. If we can actually make the range between 445 and 462 in 7 months, then that would be good. But to tell you the truth, man, I don't want to be bearish on the markets, my dude. The thing is that I would need to be a little heavier into my macroeconomics to understand the potentials of where the price action can be. But if I can give you a timing idea based on just like what you would call a technical analyst, right? 236 day fractal. Let's see. Hold on. Would put us at October 2023, and in all technicality, this would say, if we don't inflate like crazy, of course, I'm talking about just as a technical, then we would be just shy of $500 in a year, theoretically speaking, which would be just awesome. It would be so incredible. But I can't say that would be the absolute case, my dude, because I'm not sure that we should be getting that bullish in the markets just like that. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that we can make. I'm not sure that we can make the assumption that we can make to revert to all-time highs. Seeing that we're actually celebrating way too hard for us being at a 6.5 CPI. Like, we're talking about we need to go back down to 2%, meaning that we're going to be increasing rates for the next year, So there's I think we're celebrating too hard, and that could be a little bearish for the markets in the future, meaning that will stimulate followed by a for real recession in 2024. So we could see this is what people tend to call a double top. So we could literally go right up to the freaking 479, 480 and then capitulate again. We'll double top and not make any type of new highs, because we miss being in a bull cycle so much that we want it here faster than it should be. Man, I'm guilty of that myself. You know what I mean? So, but that's essentially what I'm saying. Mr. Zur, what is up, man? You're not the only one from Sweden here, my dude. Actually, a few other people have already stepped in from Sweden. I think her name was Micah. I think a few people, yeah, you know. Angel Eyes, trust me, a lot of people know what's in Powell's head, just we don't. Oh, yeah, I absolutely believe it. I just know that I don't. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. I really wish I did. You know, if he told me, hey, Arca, we're going to be releasing some terrible news. We're going to rate hike to 75 bips in the next FOMC meet. What do you think is going to happen? I was like, I'll tell you exactly where it's going to go. I'll tell you where it's going, Jerome. So I'll tell him, hey, K Powell, come with me. Okay. So I'm going to, you know, J Powell, sorry. I'm going to tell him, well, based on your terrible news, we're going to create a widespread panic. That's what's going to happen. So I wish I knew what he had to say, guys. That's what it's just, I can't. I can't. But based on data, we can only assume, right? So I'm actually curious to see if I can backtest not the SPY. I want to backtest the S&P 500 all the way to the 1800s and see what the potentials could be for what's coming next. That would be quite cool. It's going to take me some time because there's and I think I want to do it on a daily. There's probably going to be 400 iterations, and that's going to take for sure weeks to do. But very cool stuff. I'm not gonna lie. But guys, I want you to know that I appreciate everybody so much for coming into the chat today. Very long one today, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we all got to share this this chat together, right? COSM to $100, Mr. Zur. You sound like a bunch of other fools in the freaking Twitter telling me, Arca, when are we gonna $25 this guy right here? So good night, Angel. Good to see you here. So I was like, oh man, you guys, please don't ask me those questions. Like I'm trying to give you the forecast right here. I can't be just like, okay, we're gonna hit $25 in 7 months. You know, I can't do that. Indra, I love your TA. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate you stopping by here. Every single time I see you in here, Indra, I'm having a coffee with you. So, very cool, you guys. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. My moderators, Mark Roach, Samantha H. You guys are always so helpful. T Wood, have a good night. Nick, you got it, man. Be safe, be well, everybody, okay? So, know that I'm going to go ahead and stream tomorrow night, guys. Please refer. David Parr, have a good night, my dude. Please refer to the links in the description below if you wish to join the Discord community, Arca Bulls, right? And also, consider saying hello to me on Twitter. All right, you guys? Yeah, thank you so much, Indra. Have a good night. And Philip, have a good night. Mr. Zur, you know it, man. You know it. All right, you guys. But Mark Roach, all right, you guys. Be safe, be well, and I'll catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.